1.
Welcome everyone and all.
It's time. Your favorite host.
24/7 with all your favorite music for you.
This style is hot. Stay tuned.
The best radio.
News on your number one station.
Weekend. Let the good vibes take over. Only on your favorite station.
With your favorite station. Online, digital, and on your smartphone. Radio is hot. The music is hot.
Accra, Ghana. That's what's up. That's what it is. Me mamwa ha, mi cheche munyina mamwa kwaba. Entertainment Review Saturday. August in the day, yeah, Tosio Dunkuno. Your friend me Chrissy Abuaje. Your darling, I'm here. Eviensi yesin konye ba bedin komo. Na fiti bem se nra beya de ensuo no. Jeja esin abrochire wada o. Any say who the weather bring himself. What is na the trouble abrel. I know you won't come WhatsApp. Jumedie Bakope. Ah, yes, Studio My Entertainment Show. So, what we are seeing now. Oh, my goodness. We've been doing this since 2006. And we're still. I heard you know her. Radia Darman Kwa. And you heard you her. Jumedie no Sujina and now so I come on. Money why any ho. Oh, na rehosem pa enra na maboto. Minua ba Jane Bachman Owu. Enra ababe to just say, oh, Jane Bachman Owu of Graphic Showbiz. Jane I can't chine go. Jane. Ah. Yamane mami a weja no honum say yamane mami yakọ neba ebusuani nyina hyeden nanu ya o Graphic Showbiz forum ya sina mehia no na me dodge no me say oje me kwaba because me amini ma de obe taxi me ba me say o me kwaba ah me frame me phone na chese me who call no cry me febio sisi ya so say no ani those of us in the print broadcast near Kahunina Jane Bachman Owu. Watwana na monsiado erade nyankopon. Nipa obebi ko. Me man is shedding. No crap. So was say out there. Jane Bachman Owu. And then you got me bonny baby. We are the mobile. What's the audio? I'm away. No safety. Oh, better way. We are the mobile. And here Rabaya Mekana Semen Ran no Tuan and Amon Seado. One Graphic Showbiz na ye Juma. I'm a packet to get to be a one year. We have Panania jump for Primo, no man, somewhere, Mobo, and no one. And I was telling the demo. I'm out for a journey who is here. Oh, what you want you? I'm watching a young Kenya. In where your boy and Sunny Bra. Massa was in a chill. I have some money on you from Bunai. And I am in no mamma did you banya. Many of baby and Nancy on a radio beponia. Yanaway, I see the door from my
the papa, I'm out when I come in so down. In Kwa, oh, I'm a bonny favorite. We are Jima Brai. What's your audio? Yanaway, no, same eye. Whoa, better way.
Now, GDM saying, yeah, I sent Pakra. Now, Chimuanson and Yumtuni OJ Black. On also to an animal and Seattle. John DeMello and Suma, me. Every move. Whiskey is in cinema, me. Hey, now, Chi.
A book of a quick pray for the Amadia.
Ah,
In
the back country.
Someone in a young cow, but I'm Papi Swamba. I'm an emergency in the Abraham, and what funny so we are from and we are assassin Casa. And I'm also seeing in our dream. What shall I say? What in a soya cow? What do I go? Mamma, meditating, I've been I. And then see, Mamma means to me, we are me money, baby. Say, Mamma means to me, we are some money, baby. And it's so me out, me way I'm coming in the down. You must go down for a brother when I go so down. And I owe anybody, baby. No way, Uncle Jam Koja. And then I did about the piano, so dear, no. We just saw your body, someone, but so see with dear Hawaii. You see, Mamma means to me, we are me money, baby, right? Oh, what's it more the eye? Oh, safety, I am oh, I'm a money, baby. We are the map, right? What's it more the eye? I'm the way, no, safety, I.
And you wash over this year, be a Yamayako Entertainment Review. Soon as you go in. And then you made the end dedicating my Jane Backman. James Wabatete, yes.
Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
Okay, so young Kengum, young Queen, and Commando Doss, so we studio Hanum saying Penny Fatnasi. Now, well, so there's a festival, Costa Ghana Hanum saying Charlie Wote Street Art Festival. I feel so director of the festival is here. That's Manje Aikwe. Let's get to the studio and get talking. Manje, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, and yourself?
Fabulous. I'm doing fabulous.
The Afro too still growing. Sometimes you try to, braid it, and sometimes
it used to be bigger.
Okay, so what? It's shrinking?
Well, you know, the humidity here makes my hair shrink, but this is the real length.
Okay.
It's quite long.
Well, so the last time, we had you in the studio,
right?
Manchagbona was actually the hosting place for Chalote Street Festival. We understand now you have a new venue. We'll talk about that. But for those that maybe first time hearing about Chalote Street Art Festival,
right?
A bit of background for my listeners.
Well, Chalote is a multidisciplinary street art festival. We are in our 13th cycle. We've been running since 2011. We started small, you know, in Accra, in Jamestown, and now Chalote is doing over 100,000 people over a period of a week. You know, it's become a really exciting cultural device on the African continent. Yeah.
13 years, I'm sure. When you were starting, did you envisage
cycles.
It will get to this, stage?
Yes. That was the plan. That's always been the plan, to create an avenue for artists, because there's there's very little artist support system in Ghana. You know, so this was our own way of independently creating an avenue for, you know, artists to be able to create viability for their projects and also to establish Ghana as a art hub on a continent.
Why do you think it's so? I mean, that there's very much little support when it comes to the arts.
I don't think that post-independence we had an opportunity to actually expand and grow or engineer new culture. You know, our political situation too also made it difficult. You know, we have a series of military interventions. So to engineer culture in the place for it to be successful, you need calm and stability. But also, I mean, social upheavals are also inspirational to artists. But it's safer when you create in a stabilized environment. You know, that way you're creating an ecosystem, you're creating an economy, and you're employing people.
But I mean, with what you're saying, the other maybe other sectors or the other forms of, let's say the arts, the creative arts in general, have been thriving more or less. And is it that same maybe reasons that you are ascribing for that matter that the art couldn't grow?
Well, I think
it's the same environment that we have all these like music.
In most places, there's, you know, we should also think about the economies in which we're operating in. You know, the kind of economy that we have.
It's also the interest of the people that maybe find Ghanaians in general. Maybe we kind of maybe don't. We're not too much into the art. Is that the case?
Because the thing that Westerners refer to as art, within our context, it is not art. I mean, when you go to a palace, the palace building, how it's designed, what they wear, you know, this performance of power that you experience within the palace. You know, within a Western context, it's viewed as artistic. Over here, it's more functional, spiritual. You know, so the things that are referred to as art in the West, they have more spiritual and ceremonial significance for us. You know, so when you stabilize a society, the thing that you lead with is your social, the expression of the people. You know, that's how you build nations. That's how you create an identity, a cultural identity for people. Usually is driven through the arts. You know, in our situation, there hasn't been that massive support from the state to propel it. You know, a lot of the time it's been driven by...
So for the 13 years, do you think that the Chalawote Art Street Festival has really been successful in terms of helping to provide that platform?
Right. I mean, it's been largely successful as a form that is being replicated not just in Ghana but across West Africa. You know, and it's also created a whole ecosystem that is also attracting other art businesses into Ghana. You know, the last time I came here, I mentioned that the international galleries that are setting up shop in Accra, and they're only doing that because now they see the viability within the art economy and a lot of that has to do with the contributions and the structures that Chalawote has established within the cultural sector in Ghana.
In terms of provision of jobs, I mean, are you able to put numbers into it? Maybe how many of the youth that maybe through this platform have benefited, they now have jobs? Do you have the numbers?
I can give you the old numbers.
Okay. Which is how much?
A little over 2 million.
Wow.
Yeah, a little over 2 million.
They are benefiting.
Yes.
Because
in
of
different sectors. So, I mean, in a place like Accra Central, we're operating. There are over 10,000 businesses within that sector. Within that business community, more than half of them profit off of Chalawote. You know, from us buying electricals, buying wood, employing carpenters, electricians, performers, videographers, photographers. There's a whole chain. There's a whole chain. Manufacturing, fabrication, catering businesses. You know, so it's a little over 2 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So this year, when is it starting?
We are taking off on Monday. So
This coming Monday?
yes,
Wow.
Chalawote is in Osu, from the Independence Square all the way into the Osu Castle, all the way into the Osu community, onto Oxford Street.
So it is moved location now.
Yes.
It used to be at Jamestown, Manchagbona.
Yeah. Well, we haven't been in Manchagbona since 2019,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
Our main stage moved to Sikan in 2019.
All right.
Right.
I'm sure, my listeners are we're curious to know why the changing, location. Why did you change the location?
I want us to focus on the festival.
It's part of the festival.
Yes.
I'm sure listeners
I want us to
definitely.
focus on the
Yes,
festival.
we're talking about the festival in general, but you can't just come here and leave like that without telling why you
Everything likes
changed.
controversy.
I don't know. Listen, I'm sure, Mancha, you'll be curious if you're listening to me. You do this job, you know it. You'll be curious. Okay, so why did they change venue? Why did they change the location? So
we have a more spacious area.
Okay.
We have better security now. We're collaborating with the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Arts, Ghana Tourism Authority, the Kole Klote Municipal Assembly, National Security. It's a multi-government agency collaboration in a way that we haven't done in a while.
Okay.
You know, and we want to be able to showcase the art more.
Okay.
You know, and it's also a wider space. We can do more in those spaces. Yeah, and this is our 13th cycle. It's an exciting time to have an independent African festival that has become this influential on the continent and also influencing the world. And also remember that we are also making art history.
Okay.
It's not art history that is coming from somewhere else for us to study. We are contributing to academic archiving of, contemporary art history in Ghana, but not just in Ghana, but also in Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling that the way you started the whole explanation, that there's more to what you've just said, that it's not just the space, it's not just because you said Chrissy Lies controversy and all that. It means that there's more to it than what you've told us.
I wanted to focus that, these are exciting times.
Yeah.
That Africans are dictating the pace of art expression. And that hasn't happened in decades. It's a really beautiful moment to experience at this time. Artists who were beginners when we started Chalawote in 2011, they are now some of the biggest in the international art spaces. Very successful. Some of the most successful artists, African artists, are Ghanaians, and all of them, well, a huge bulk of them, I'll call them they're like the new school. The bulk of them came out of Chalawote, So I think it's exciting that we've been able to create this kind of thing on the continent. We've been able to dream and establish something this progressive, to the point that we are having multi-governmental support to make it happen. It's it counts for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have to just recap or maybe go over it again. The exact place that is going to take place. I mean, when you say Osu, from where to where exactly?
So do you know where State Farms? The State Farms.
Yeah.
So it's from the State Farm traffic light.
Okay.
All the way through Independence Square, the Independence Arc.
Okay.
All the way into Christianborg Castle. And then into the Osu community. And then we're going to have some activities on Oxford Street also.
Okay,
yes.
I see. So, if I should ask, what will be the action spot? if you have to ask something
the
like
Black
that.
Star Square will be the action.
The Black Star Square.
And the Osu Castle.
Okay.
Will be the action spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And for those probably maybe listening who want to be a part of, the festival.
Right.
This is the first time the person is even hearing of it.
Right.
maybe if you can just walk us through how the whole thing, is like, whether the person needs something to be a part of it, in terms of maybe ticketing and everything.
Right. So Monday 21st at 3 p.m. it opens with an all-white attire procession.
Okay.
The procession starts from the castle through the Osu community to the Black Star Square and then back to the castle. We'll be opening the Shika Shika Art Fair, featuring a Ghanaian collective called Afwabe. The title of the exhibition is This is Not Make Believe, and it's quite exciting. So people should come out and see it. From the 22nd, we have film screenings.
Okay.
Films from all over the continent and the Caribbean, predominantly made by people of African descent. We'll screen films from Tuesday 22nd to Friday 25th. All of that will be at the castle.
What kind of film is it going to be? The theme
fiction, documentaries, features.
Has he always been part of the festival?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have labs and salons. We have we have some really exciting filmmakers coming from South Africa. That's all I'm going to say. But they've been involved in some very major projects. So I don't want to jump.
And this is not, all this is not taking place on the Monday that you're starting. It's going to be
from Tuesday.
From Tuesday going.
Yeah, Tuesday to Friday. So there are film labs. There's a major photography salon. There's a quite experienced and talented West African photographer who will be teaching photography throughout the whole day. So it's open to the public. You can subscribe.
Is it a 24-hour thing? Can we pass through any time or the specific times that maybe?
It's from afternoon, from 2 p.m. to about 9 p.m. every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2 p.m. 9 p.m. every day. We're inside the Osu Castle.
Okay.
For the film labs, the film salons, and also the photography sessions.
So let's talk a bit about something that I'm sure the last time you were here we touched on it, but I still want us to maybe brush over it again. That has to be with support.
Right.
This is more or less becoming a cliche with, the Chalote Art Festival in terms of the fact that when you started, you didn't have much support. People were not ready to actually come on board. Now everybody wants to be a part of it, want to have a bite of the cherry and all that. How's it like? I'm sure now you're getting support. How's it like in terms of sponsorship and all that?
It's this year we have GTA supporting.
Okay. That's Ghana Tourism Authority.
Ghana Tourism Authority supporting some of our activities.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll ask this question. Let me ask before. Sokri doesn't want me to touch on it, but I still will ask because anytime we're talking about support and all that, fine. So I ask, what kind of support did you get? Maybe financial support? Is it some facilitation?
Well,
what exactly did you get from them?
Well, there is some financial support. I can't say it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
But they are absorbing.
Why is it that we shy away always from numbers when it comes to? But it's part of data. I don't know why.
Long thing.
No, I don't know.
You will make the creditors.
Listen,
jump on here.
Listen, if we continue like this, I don't know how we are going to. The last time, and it's one of the issues we're going to talk about today, that tourism, the creative art sector, is the third largest contributor to our GDP.
Yes.
Now, so if we have to talk about, if it's the third largest contributor to our GDP, then we shy away from when it comes to figures and all that. I don't know what we're doing to ourselves.
But these are figures, Kabi wo hot da. Afe na wo be bo figures bi na afe de na afe ni.
Well, exactly that. Exactly that.
It was allow kakra kwesi. What you adwuma na say?
Mentiase. I'm here for the listeners. My listeners just want to know. But
so
let's move on.
GTA has been phenomenal.
Okay.
In supporting. absorbing some of our costs.
Okay.
Which,
so largely, let me say that's from GTO
Yes.
represent maybe the government.
Yes.
In terms of maybe the private sector, the corporate, I mean, well, that we say, how has it been like? Is it still dry? Do you not getting anything from them, or they also on board this year? How is it like?
I think how do I put this? The mid-management contacts within the corporations who will pass information on to their bosses to make decisions to support certain projects are unable to sell it. You know, this is a
is it based on experience, or
yes.
why are you saying so?
Well, because a lot of the time they have there's like a template they use, and it's difficult for them to stray from it. You know, once you change the approach, it's like everything scatters. And also, this art thing is still new to people. I mean, after 12 years, you think that it's also because we are not really paying attention, you know, to how important and how profitable, you know, culture has become. And in our part of the world, it's like when the U.S., when the Pilgrims first struck oil, you know, the El Dorado days. It's like that's what we're experiencing now. We discovered this thing.
So you're putting the blame on maybe more or less the mid-management.
I think people working in marketing within corporations have to be more creative, more open-minded, you know, and try new things, because, you know, there's 1,001 things you can do other than setting up a tent and sharing.
The last time Graphic Showbiz organized this forum and I was there,
Right.
the marketing manager for MultiChoice, she spoke. She was one of I think the people that spoke at the forum, and she made mention something to the effect that it is also how we package the project when we're presenting it to them. Because they also, I mean, they're into business.
Right.
They're into, to make profit and all that. So they look at what is viable, what will also give them that leverage that they're looking for. So is it also not the case, as you putting the blame on them more or less? How do we also, or how have you packaged the festival?
It's not so much of blame. It's just we need to be more open to a different approach. How are we able to have content licensing arrangements with international media organizations, and we are just beginning to do it here? You know what I mean? And international media organizations, they are more rigid and more precise in their execution of projects. So we've been able to arrange that and have those kind of arrangements with non-Ghanaian media companies, and we are just beginning to do that. I think one has to interrogate that too. You know, there's largely, I'll tell you this: the corporations want the numbers, they want the visibility within a space like Chalawote, but they don't want to pay for it.
Okay. They want free publicity kind of thing.
Yes. And also they've gotten used to
freebies.
Yes. Ambush marketing.
Yeah.
So and that's a culture. You know, that's a culture that has to change. You know. And some of these
it's also not because we don't take them on.
Exactly.
The last time you were here, and a lot of people, we spoke about people doing a lot of ambush marketing.
Right.
And is it also not because we don't take them on legally? Because if you do this, and because most of the times when we're packaging some of these things, the legal aspect of it, we just neglect it.
No, we don't. Do you remember when we started asking documenters to pay a 20 cedi cover charge to document Chalawote?
Yeah.
That happened because we found out that people were selling our content to organizations like Saatchi and Saatchi. You know, so if you're licensing content that we are creating independently, or images, or you're making film, documentaries, whatever, with our images for free, and they said pay a 20 CD cover charge, so it's like clearance for it because you're making money.
But see, it takes me back to my question.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm making a point.
Go ahead.
We developed a content licensing policy for Chalawote. And in 2015, some of your friends came and sat here and lambasted me. I still have that recording. You know, it's part of the Chalawote archive.
I see.
So it happened 2015, 2016.
You mean we sat here?
Yes. I don't want to mention people's names,
Really?
but I have the audio. One day I'll send it to you.
Okay.
You know, and this was us just streamlining things and saying, let's do things properly.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole campaign that, you know, we enjoy this negative, cutthroat, booga. When somebody's doing something and you don't understand, you just ask questions. Hey, this thing that people are doing, you don't understand. What is it? You know, there was an incident of a really big media house. Their journalists came to Chalawote and they saw a performance happening. And, you know, they could have just approached the performers after the show, asked them, hey, what's this about? They went and did a whole story about the performance being about Galamsey. And it had nothing to do with Galamsey. Like, you fabricate a whole performance instead of just asking questions. You know what I mean? So there's a lot we need to catch up on, you know? And also, I think that it's important for media houses that are well-resourced to invest in training of journalists. So we develop our own language around art. When we're writing about art, we develop a language for music, for theater. So when you're writing it, they know that, when you read Nigerian literature, there's a manner they write. Immediately you know where it's coming from. You know, we used to have that in the 60s, in the 70s, even in the 80s, 90s, Kojo Lane, you know, Ayiku Ama. But then those people, they're gone now. You know, I mean, Ayiku Ama is still alive, but that kind of literature is almost non-existent. Now, literature, African literature, or let's say Ghanaian literature, is being funneled through ready-made markets. You know, a lot of the time they're focusing on this immigrant experience. You know, we're not really focusing on documenting our indigenous cultural development. You know, where is the essay and book about Reggie Rockstone, about Ejako Onimo? All these greats, you know, if you go on the internet, there's very little information about them. That is our responsibility. That is our responsibility. So we need to create there's a lot of hype about Ghana internationally. So we need to do things to match the hype. You know, we need to create the infrastructure. We need to create the literature, the film, the theater, because I believe that the talent is here. You know, and I'm also a big believer in apprenticeship. You know, understudying people who have knowledge. And I know apprentice carpenters and apprentice architects who do fabulous work. Just understudying somebody for 5 to 10 years, and you also become a master.
Sure.
You know, so there's a lot of money and resource in cultural animation. We have momentum now. Now we need to match the talk.
Well, so that's Manche Aikwe, director of Chalawote Street Art Festival. And you need to go on and say, for Michelle Mfanchemi, Manche Nichi, in fact, want to mean Kakra, I'm here, Munina, and Bedum Radio Nunti, na I better say a becan brofo, and Koma Yedi na fa a fashe bia, a basho, a wagana hanum saying, Yenuanma, one more into art. Womudi. ɛyɛ afie bia wɔn hyɛ saa ɛfa no dwumadie bebree kɔ ɛso ɛwɔ saa ɛyɛ dwumadie ase afie nso no ba so adwade ya na wɔn hyɛ aseɛ ɛno ho nkɔmɔ ɛna yɛdie ɛyɛ ade a agyedin wɔ Ghana hanom sɛ nye Ghana nko a ewiase afa na nyinaa amanfoɔ hyɛ de tu kwan fi amanɔne abrochi ɛba ɛde wɔn ho ɛba bɛgye ɛyɛ Charlotte Street Art Festival. Adwade say na medical kano omo hyase no miensa omo hyase with a procession chese ombe na anti krum na omo abohu de ru no mama Ghana wiase afa na nyina hu say yes ya hye eye afahye no ase adwade fi adwada eko ebeto aso. So how many days are we going to have the festival?
7 days is a week, Monday to Sunday.
Monday through Sunday. Oh well. Yeah. So enya menkwana mo hanu say as always unim say am panel members come ho tili ekwe ni partner say Secret Safo wa hanu say sanso enna yenua ba ko a wo kan ho no nso waboko George Bosomfim George ne ababe sry wa hanu say ne be di nkomo fufuro bi wa hanu say ba George abe George microphone ba ko na men sha asem fiusu wetie manche wakasa all the fra bro fu ni twi na etie fa
so no and I said twi ni oti na ne kan na ni
afi
me kana kan beso kan kan
afi na ba pe wo pa anyo abani no mene wo ya fi jomo shipon adjoni mle akwen cheme kenye me aba fita wo ni wadi na nchuma ashole twani manya bla o
so Charlotte, I mean what you say bia
so also the you know obi kana say kusum allo jena guy
no
kan no meet kaka Debbie na say me wo me otema na tema kan ho.
That's not true.
Ampa otema Newtown e kan na batema na siman fo na le fan kan no maka Fantini twi.
We are sure.
Very, very sure. So be out here, one of them.
Right.
Matranatama since 1968.
Hey.
You see, we are changing by
OG.
George,
younger. But it say a man of boss, very important. Very, very important. But say, they are doing documentation. Because you started to say, Bibisa, Sinifon, I started to say, Bibisa, we have secret of a country. Yeah. Documentation. Now, I am pastor. Usankrofo obobo mudin na no bi an share document here. Kwame Nkrumah documentation here or yet president near my speeches near the document you. Na ne life and kasa krampo no yen document here. Ubehwa last 3 weeks was na for neba animation for neba ase oni omudin ko. Ubehwa say bibiti say yasanto sini na omoyi twa no. Unzo no mo call silver bed. Unko bisa for one eyipe theater. At the end day no mo fele 5. Yeah. Adintra. Yabakosem no hu hia yen enti we say wo mo ba hwe sini ni ade nyina no because o ma tsesa na mo hu wo ba bi o ma hu si achoro kakra bi wo ba bi no one person be hwe say etesen e wo si ye de sini etesen yeah enti a very important pass ye be documenting in that format no wo hwe 28 February and so dey na we say no na trigger ye independence and obi aye ho animation no there enti very important say be cause our direction ya hwe ne ya nkasa ye ho niam no ya documenting in there kire amansan nyina especially in Chirimano. Tutu ona nim nema sisu. Even if you want to say, say ya, you almost say educational system ni adia. And nema ni bi won ma church very scanty. E bi won ma wa chiro bi kitikiti bi aba ni pakro no keke na ochom. So ni pakro no chiro book no. So nipa no hia na obetro dudu na won ho. E bi won ma ni hu hia no to chiro kutu bi wo mo ni di an o chiro free crow so o ye say eno anasa. No ja to ho no. Enti ye no a ye ho anu sesi na ye di animo no. Making sure say you're very saying yeah proper documentation any historical perspective no I say very clear and you say because we know him and I say me opentina me di intro e dey asise isemi ade and yeah one more years I'm very happy to say GTA they won ho agim actually the ministry as a whole because the ministry na
so agency under it
the ministry also no sa no so na ye person ka ada events ni niam be so Ghana anu nyina so ba be so sini enwom bibia mo de ho ba be bom na ya but yen so na ye wo mu no ai didi ani no so yen say ye mra ne niam yi no matimi abeboa because wan hye ne niam yi anko ntimi meboa no okay yo zo mo hwe niam wo ye ne bibia e kona na hye say o ye adwuma pa ma Ghana enti so mo so ne mfe No, myself, no.
But I see, Tilly, microphone. I mean, to you. I'm sure you can use that.
I think so. Per last year in Koma idea any this year, me who said GTA involvement in Charlotte, I skyrocketed like a corsoro. I've never seen this man on a platform. Socrates and Kanwana or be from the ministry and which means that this year I'm hoping that because of their visible involvement in all the problems are now will have at least 99% of them will be resolved. Now still on last year you sat here and you gave us concrete reasons. You gave us the historic purpose of the location of Charlotte and how integral it was to even the promotion of that event outside the country and how it brought people here. Now you have changed the venue. How is that part of Charlotte going to be fixed? Because the venue had a role in Charlotte, but you are trying to shy away from that part. Meanwhile, you gave us reasons why.
I won't beat you, but if somebody is beating you,
you gave us reasons. No, it's not. Sorry. He wasn't being diabolical. You actually gave us reasons why the venue was integral to the story of Charlotte and how it has propelled the event for 13 years. Now there's a change.
So I'll tell you this. We deliberately created that visibility for the space. It didn't happen by accident. And it was completely non-existent.
Wait, so the history you told us, was it true?
Yes, can I finish?
Okay.
There's a point I'm making.
Okay.
Before Charlewote, that part of the city was practically dead. Even the traditional festival there, that at the time we went to that location, there was an embargo on the sprinkling of Pikwe during Homo.
Great speech.
Yeah. So I'm making a point. And then by 2013 we started marketing the festival alongside the integral migratory history of the space. We've created walking tours, we've created cultural artifacts out of that. We've created a business that the community is profiting from. Now if you know the history of that space, you can do walking tours. That's within that community now. That is the main source of employment, walking tours, and you're talking about doing about 5, 6, 7 tours a day, depending on how busy it is. And they are charging monies that at the end of the day, they make way more than the minimum wage. So these people don't even have to move out of their community. They just need to be aware of the history of their community, and they can take tourists around, show them heritage sites.
Yes. Sorry to cut you.
No.
I
don't want to miss. Listen, I don't want to miss my point.
But it's important I come in here.
Right
now, what she? I mean, the question. I mean, this is where I went to and he said, "I'm being controversial." He said, "You told a story.
Yes.
You gave us a historic."
Right.
Perspective why it is held at that particular location. Now that you've moved the location, does that bit of the history
so that history is also within Osu that nobody talks about. What do we know about Osu? Not just Christian Board Castle. What do we know historically about the people of Osu?
But last year you didn't tell that story, that history.
No, because last year I wasn't there. But whatever is within our old location, they are equally
significant
historical sites, heritage sites, and equally important history within that community. That has been obscured because there's virtually no interest. So the thing that Charlewote did for our old community, it would do for our current location in Osu. And wherever we should move, the history of that place also comes with us. So what we are doing now is creating a visual reference and a visual imagination for that history that has been obscured. Do you understand?
I get you. Now, I think the question I have to ask, the follow-up, I think the follow-up I'll have to ask is the reasons that informed that movement from that place to the new venue. are you sure that it is not going to cause you to move again?
Oh.
Have they been resolved? Because now you have good history, 13 years, and right now you are going to create an entire history again to back something.
But
has the problem been resolved?
It doesn't have to be either or.
Has the problem been resolved?
I'm not aware of a problem.
You told us the problem last year. We have the tapes and the recordings, just as you have the recordings of those who.
Listen, I do not want us to focus on something that has been. Let's focus on the now. There's an amazing festival that is being projected out of Accra, and historically, very life-changing cultural and political events come from West Africa, and it rolls down and it rolls up, so just like Chalawote, this cultural revolution that has happened is spread all over the continent, so
he's not answering my question. I don't know why.
I want us to focus. I want us to focus on what is important.
No, I'm sorry. What if you say that it sort of trivializes the question I asked you?
No, it doesn't trivialize
because
it.
The thing is that, truth be told, the question I'm asking is very important to even the future. You are saying we should focus on the now, but even the future of the festival, because we are saying that there were reasons. You gave us reasons why it had to be moved. I mean, now that you're telling me that it has been moved, it makes sense to me.
But do you know what I get? What I get from what's going on is that Manche wants us to focus on the festival, which is coming off on Monday.
Exactly.
Maybe when he's done with the festival,
we can have a
come there and
conversation.
we'll talk about all those controversial issues.
Exactly.
Is that what you want us to do?
That's exactly what I want.
But is it even controversial?
Well, it's not
That's
important now.
it.
It's really not important.
It is.
Because
there was a purpose you moved the
because
event. Now my question
forward.
is, has those issues been resolved at the new venue?
We don't have those kind of problems at the new venue.
But the new venue event hasn't happened yet. So how do you anticipate that there's no problem?
Listen, you're talking like you're the producer of the show. We haven't had any problems. There's a lot of things that this year we haven't had to do. The Ministry of Tourism.
This one, I agree with you. There was a problem.
Well,
problem with the space.
Right.
Now you have a bigger space.
Right.
Yeah. So
no, but
now you have a bigger
she
space.
has referred. The reason why I'm just quiet here.
Because we have a bigger space.
No,
now.
she has referred. She's referred her to last year's interview.
But the last
some
time
of the
I came
problems,
here,
the challenges that you yourself the challenges that you yourself enumerated.
Right.
Then again, when we started the conversation, you also alluded to the fact that now you have a bigger space.
Yes,
that suggests that you have issue with the old place. It means that
Well,
so
I mean, there are issues that we don't have to focus.
Now.
We don't have to focus on. They're like, I mean, there are thousands of people traveling. People have already arrived. Yesterday they were we had to move people from our construction sites because there are visitors in town. They've heard about the festival and the location, so there's already traffic. This is exciting. Let's focus on the exciting stuff that is happening, that is creating business. That is putting Ghana out as a cultural engineering superpower, basically.
Okay, so let's focus on that.
Exactly.
Let's focus on the exciting one.
Exactly.
So
and it's creating jobs. It's creating lots of jobs.
Okay.
Now everything that we did in our old location, we are able to do it in our new location too. And there's been phenomenal support from the community. Everybody's excited. And this thing, the idea is that we learn from what we are doing and then it replicates itself. That way it's creating jobs. It's like when somebody starts to make comic ekena at some location and it starts thriving. Everybody else is making comic ekena. We copy first and then we fine tune and then you find what you're good at and then we expand.
Okay.
There's so much.
Right.
Let me just wrap this up.
Okay.
There's so much opportunity within the cultural space and there is enough jobs. It's enough to go around for everyone. So when we are approaching this thing, we should approach it with open-mindedness because there's enough for everyone, and we shouldn't approach it with a mentality of lack. When you think about lack, that's what you're going to attract to yourself.
All right, we have to move on, Manche. Tilly, let me just move on. I'm sure that you want to ask.
Oh, no. I just wanted him to also add the law side you mentioned, because he mentioned the prospects with such an event. And if, as a business or a company, a marketer, you are not able to see the prospects of partnering with such an event and you want to come and do ambush marketing, I think the law must as well work, because you know the purpose and the value your business gets being at such an event. So why don't you respect the arts enough to want to actually make them also benefit from what they are doing? So if they think they can ambush the creative space and then take what they want at will, we might as well show them the law. So I think that part too they should add, but I don't know if that is also not focusing. So I was trying to not add it.
No, it's important. It's really important, and I think that artists have demonstrated consistently how viable what they do is. I think that because of sometimes the resource constraints, people are unable to take on like large corporations, because they have deep pockets, they have big lawyers.
You have GTA.
Let me finish. Let me finish. What I'm saying is, it's taking a while, over a decade, to build this thing. Now, as we sit here to speak, nobody will come and would dare ambush Charlie Wate, because there will be severe consequences. They wouldn't want to do that. And that's not even from our side. That's primarily from the Ministry of Tourism side. If I make a report and send it to the ministry, they will give you hell. Because now they are supporting, they're also investing in it. So if there are institutions or corporations who are attempting to derail what we're doing, the ministry will take you on, before we even decide to take you on.
Okay, so let Christianas Bremwe na manche yentino Chalote Street Art Festival kakawo ye monitor toto yanko
because the dikano ma yembo mancha baso. Let me first congratulate you for this big move, new move no kwasi eso ani. And the ma me excited ni say manche we open event in app we hu say baby event na do say no SSC beam to attract for more people, more patrons, wo mo beton ade wo mo be business na da dey na no SSC beam. They are more comfortable also with it. Me pena ho can right now also with the Charlie Wate Festival. We're moving a step further too. Now, for first, we are hearing media partners, and media partners require a bon. I see what the other partners are doing. I've also loved the fact that if you look at the wind that's surrounding it, with the euphoria, the way people are gearing towards the event, also with GTA support, it's putting the event onto a bigger international platform. My question is, Manche, from all this that is happening, do we have money to be able to talk to me about sponsorship? Do we have money? Because
the thing called sponsorship, we do not have. We've never had that. Okay. The last time I was here, I told you that I mentioned that the only time we've received support that can be qualified as sponsorship came from the Ministry of Tourism in 2018. So if we want to talk about sponsorship, that's the now we're getting support from the ministry. Okay. They're like our main sponsors now. We don't have corporate sponsorship.
Okay. Permit me. This is the 10th edition, right? 13th edition.
Yeah. Now 12th year.
Okay. Within this 13, and even this year, if you look at the enlargement with all these media, large volumes of media, like what we are doing now.
Right.
Look at the traffic. Almost about 1 hour, we are on Charlie Wate.
Right.
Is this something that you are not doing, or the contacts? Is there something you are doing particular which is not attractive to sponsorship? Because Charlie Wate now is in the lips of all of us, from the creatives, from the central point. You are in the middle of the sea.
Right.
So why are you not catching fish?
Because we've had to catch our own fish. We've had to catch our own fish. We've the last time I was here, I mentioned that I've knocked on every door in this country, and after a while, I stopped.
Who is managing your marketing?
We have a pretty solid team.
Then you have to dissolve some of the team members and get new on board. Because 13 years.
but
I like your word of solid. If they are solid, they should put some money by now.
Well, so let's do this.
Yeah.
We spent the last decade and over a decade developing the festival.
Okay.
To what it is now.
Okay.
And we've had to do it on our own because for the most part, these corporations, one, they didn't get it, and two, they also didn't want to pay for it. But it was when the festival started thriving, So I'll give you an example. At our old location, it's one long street, Within a 3-mile radius, there are hundreds of businesses that are selling drinks, whatever.
Yeah.
So you approach a drinks company and you have an agreement, or you agree in principle, this is how we're doing. And then they decide that, you know what, instead of paying you X amount of money, I'm going to bring my brands to all my products, to all the bars on that stretch. There are bars there already, So instead of doing that, I'd rather give them products and let them sell, and they will brand their space instead of giving you money. So basically, instead of supporting the festival, they're not interested in supporting, but they want to take advantage of festival traffic. Also, sometimes people don't feel like they have to give artists money. They think that it's a play thing.
Okay.
And that's why we've had to create our own resource.
Last question.
Yeah, I am okay. This is my last take on. I am very particular about this sponsorship bit because the Chalawote Festival by itself, if you look at budget now on the table,
it's huge.
And it's huge. How much is that?
It's huge.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Good. I like the word huge. And meaning that the Chalawote Festival, as I say, it may generate revenue,
right?
So that we can be able to create more insights.
Remember, it's also a free festival.
Yeah, internal programs like bringing good artists for performance and all. And these are big pocket artists we need to. So I'm very much concerned on the sponsorship bit that if we don't create an avenue where you can be able to pull good sponsorship, I don't know how much GTA is bringing though. I know that they have the money to support, but I don't know how much. But regardless of how much GTA is bringing on board, you still need that big pocket to amplify the event, especially with the minute, the internal, the small creatives event that the main ones. That's why I'm very, very particular about sponsorship.
Absolutely. I think what we've been able to do is to create a system where we want, at this point, the festival to pay for itself. Remember, you don't pay to come to Chalawote. There's not a cover charge. It's open and it's free, So we have to decide that, okay, do Ghanaians want to pay a cover charge to come and see Chalawote? Because hundreds of thousands of people come. Would you pay 20 cedis or 50 cedis to come and see Chalawote? If we're able to do that, we will not need corporate sponsorship. We can internally generate our own funding. People have been used to the free thing for a long time, so you have to gradually ease them into it. You know what I mean? And sponsorship is good. Sponsorship is good. But I'm more about self-reliance also, and that's, if you look at our history, we've outside of governmental supports, we've mostly done this by ourselves, Okay. And I would like for us to, we are working on a system that will allow us to have the festival pay for itself, So if sponsorship comes, that's just, cream on top. Yeah.
All right. Councillor, into you.
Okay, Mancha, congratulations once again. Thank you. Yɛbɛbɔ mpaeɛ sɛ mankyɛ wie kɛseɛ no mu a ɔbɛba ɛna obi a ɔne mankyɛ baa biara kae sɛ yɛwie no ane no amba because mankyɛ allegation a wayɛ no, either he has to clear it, come and apologize, or tell us what the truth is. Say or try say ɔbɛ put the system in place, on the table that you are sitting at. The position I usually sit. We sat here and you have an audio. Say I'm wow. But you have more opportunity, no. And for the first time, Oh, I don't want to talk about this, so I want to talk about the show. Everybody's giving the quote, and the senior man says, "Oh, allow him. Let him go and finish the show." My brother is the biggest trap than any other woman on the street. Because you see, last year it was, and this man, if he's trouble on this table, this man created more trouble. Because he came here crying.
Radio. So when you say this man, it's for
Socrates, Facebook for Socrates Safo. To the event that he was crying, and if we didn't even put up the things were so bad. As if to say everything, nothing worked. And that was good picture painted. Then today we have Manche again here saying that picture painted. I release it now to say that we've got a better thing happening. Can we see it ending before? We say yes, Manche. Congratulations. But don't disappoint us.
With
the thing you responded to.
So
that when the show is done, you come back. Because we want to help you preview the thing.
Right.
Whatever you say you wanted to do that we were talking about it. We didn't understand it like you said. We don't support people. We don't. Yes, agreed. Because we don't understand. But now you are here. Number 2, with sponsorship.
I agree with you 100%. And why I agree with you 100% is that, you see, for Mutie, I can't say I'm 100% plus cry. But today, I just want to flow with my brother Manche.
Right.
He said that, you see, just like, let my people go.
I like that one. I like that scripture.
Let my people go. Today, we let him go.
Right.
But you see, there are some things that we know.
Right.
As media people, we know.
Right.
And because of that, that's why we wanted to interrogate the issues further.
So you know.
Yeah.
That means you know that if we speak about it, it's just going to overshadow everything. Listen, everything Socrates came to say. Let me.
No, don't go in.
No. I want to say.
No. If you start, we'll know and we don't go.
Okay.
Don't go, Manche. You asked us to give you the right to go and come, so don't go there.
Okay.
I only want to remind you that the audio you have, we don't have the audio, we have the memory.
Right.
Okay.
From 2015.
So you have the audio, we have the memory chip in our minds.
Right.
So don't worry.
Okay.
My brother, thank us because at a point in time, he acted like, I don't want to do anything with these people, but we have given you the space. Can you use the same method to keep knocking at the doors of corporate Ghana? Because we keep knocking, they're not minding us. It says knock until it is open.
But I think that this conversation of, yes, even though we talk about it, I just want to come in for Manche. I am sure he will agree with me on this particular one. Councillor, I don't think that maybe fine we are belaboring this particular point. And there's something he said. He said that, look, so they're exploring other avenues. If we don't even get sponsorship,
the event will pay for itself.
How can we make the event
pay for itself?
Exactly. Maybe those are the suggestions. If we can come up with some suggestions as to, well, I mean, Kwesi was, or I don't know whether he himself even suggested it about, I mean, ticketing. And he said, because we started with the free thing. Now, if you want to change it, you know, when you
difficult.
People are going to say, but this thing we used to come free.
Exactly.
Now the people, you see, now that we've gotten used to, now they want to take us money.
You know, it has happened to most of our gospel musicians who did free.
Exactly.
They have to come back to free because people came when it's free.
So maybe fine, we can come out with some suggestions.
Right.
Yeah, that could also help.
Right.
To, let's say, keep the festival going.
He made a statement. That's what I want to ask him. Right, when you said media and packaging, and you gave an example of graphic show-based issue.
Yeah.
He said he has a problem while the same package is given to a foreign media who has more structures in a way, but it's accepted. But the same content goes here and it doesn't get yield fruit.
No.
I don't know if that's...
No, I think what he said was that how come that the international organization, media organization, accepted them way it's now that when it comes to Ghana they getting maybe a media more or less supporting or partnering them. That's what it was.
So is it about documentation or is it about packaging? Because then you were discussing packaging, he said that.
Okay. Well, Maybe
now we discuss packaging, and then he said that.
Yeah, I think it's basically about understanding of the culture and the things they are doing. They
So
appreciate it more. So when they see something like that, they are ready for it. But we don't understand it.
Our own culture.
Yes, it's not even our own culture. Creative work, which is why, in fact, it even borders on the marketing side and the sponsorship side. If there's an appreciation and understanding, they don't even have to talk. Like the institutions have to rush them. You get it? Because Chalote, any serious institution outside that has creativity at heart knows that Chalote is the go-to place. But here, we don't understand it. It's all from
because it's coming from Manche.
Really?
If we take Manche to, let's say, to let's say New York or China, then we
bring it back.
So we package Manche. And we'll come and sell it to us. That one will buy it.
So we don't even like, we don't like homegrown things.
No.
Ghanaians, that's the word.
Ghana, we have a problem.
No, if you have a product that they know, I spoke to one big man in this country. Says, "What twandie ni enim say what dia yento." Or say what twandie ni enim say what dia yento. Enti best enfie du miensani. Obi enim say ade ne dia. Nansen no koye no ho say yen say ne dia. Ampa so sales aba from. No, you understand what he said? Big man, oh. And I was shocked. Say, like we say, Abuaji, the name we have, the darling boy, Socrates Safo. We expect that if such a name is being put on a bottle of water, people should drink because of their wire.
No, why should I? Because the thing is that it is from Manche, or let's say, no, this one is coming from Manche. They and his team, they put this thing together. So for us, we win support. And our own people, when this thing that they say they are knocking, and he made some fantastic,
with the marketing people.
Point here, marketing, that is what, it's like a template. Sometimes I see, they say, 6 to 12, 6, peak time, this. I say,
map it.
So that is what they are used to. They think that every time now, they don't even know that, okay, things have changed. It's the template, that's what they follow. So once it doesn't fit in,
forget it.
Yeah,
so my issue is
okay. Me person me also. Osha, remember practical events example of these kind of things that happen. Yenya the gafta ye senior every month bia. National Theatre. Ni ye free. Ena omoba pa betron ni di hu komo ni nema. Na fe pa bi ono advertising and marketing person no say na dia mo yi free. Be mo microphone so ba no mo popcorn free. Enti ya den amotimi sustain sare no say ya na dey nsatu ebotum no say o kitisi am nwa han dey na machines na was say ya say na o me say o ya na ya dey sika okay no say munyi sika ni start here sika ni say starting at a small rate into 20 cities bisa say di para kan akafa because they are used to free are there or kan ya we are very way in that you say omu ye arts no. The way we take the art is different from the way which foreigners don't take the art.
It's the value that we put on art.
Yes. Because I say a part of your memory.
Yeah.
Art is part of our memory, and events and poetry a part of your memory. Language to what
onim say
part of your memory.
Every atwem na me manage this gospel artist, not like No Tribe, na sinum, na me manage them. And we had one big church. Ghana, I won't mention them. That was the first time I spoke to that big church, that big pastor. The first time. And do you know why? We charged 4,000 Ghana cedis. Then,
and
No
the big
Tribe.
Man was feeling.
Do you know because of 4,000, that big pastor I was there, I had the call. Hold on for. Then, for this, so hold on. Then. I want to see you in my office. I understand this. Okay. Because out of respect, I went there. And because of 4,000 again, I had to meet this big pastor. Yes,
because of big 4,000.
Why are you to 4,000? They are coming
it's
to
big.
Play. They are coming to play.
It's big.
He's going to play song like 1-2 song. I said,
you want 4,000?
You want 4,000 Ghana cedis?
Big 4,000.
See, that is the value that he put on.
Yeah.
He has calculated and said, this man, and you see the big,
big billboard.
This pastor, I swear, so kwa bruchi, oko preach obi sorry. Near kasi mano, $1,000, sir. I'm sure be shown pa kuna su.
Because
but you
big.
see, and it's the value that we place on art.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is the problem that Charlotte, Street Art Festival is suffering.
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
So, well, I want to wish you well. And, Manche,
yes,
we want to have a different feel of Charlotte last year. Because by these, I think last year, Charlotte, you didn't come around like you've done media tour this time. So it means that our expectations are high. And we expect you to do the best, that everybody will run towards it like sugar. Let all the ants want to come, even the house flies want to.
Has been consistently fabulous.
Your fabulousness was with you until let me finish my check. Why cry? Mini, Montwishi. Oh, are you more minister? When I will blow mini. Hello, mini. Montwish my butter.
This man.
Montwish my butter, chalo. What I'm saying is that there's too much for me where we sit this here for you. Media, you are here before time, whatever. Let this input gives us a better output, because one, you are in a new venue. Anticipation for the new venue make you feel relaxed. Chalawati for 13 years. Let's find this one as one of the best that we can never forget. We wish you well. I will come and report, and on this same table, Ghanaians will hear us.
So I'll tell you this. Chalawati has been fabulous, consistently fabulous for 13 cycles. What has happened is that I don't think that we've really paid attention to the work that we've had to put in over this period, and also new location or not, we are no so. It doesn't change the inputs that is going to be the input of the festival or the output of the festival. We have more space to do more art. So when you're coming to enjoy yourself, see art, see some theater, see some music, have fun. These are exciting times.
Right, so Tifo, that's Manchai Ekwe, director of the Charlotte Street Art Festival. I'll just come and maybe find. Again, that sounded more like his final comments, but I will still take a final comment from him, and I'm sure this also great. Socrates, maybe must keep Socrates because
I don't know.
Yeah, Socrates,
government side, no.
Because
you are like Manche.
Oh yeah. But I'm not Manche.
Yes,
I'm Manche. I'm Socrates. Because I'm say me many to send a councillor can a year by this time. None hold there no. Ohwe bema pa ojina ho a o sun no su ofri nanim.
Oh mama. Hey mama. Isani
Last year we phone the mama.
Okay.
You were
You want to get that
because let's move on.
But you didn't hear it. Maybe when you were coming, you didn't listen. This thing that you are saying that Manche doesn't want you to say. He said he has audio 2015 about a discussion that we had, but he's forgotten that whatever happened last year, that one too is also the one.
I am so happy. I'm so happy that my brother, my friend, he's not my brother, he's my friend. Mood or day Casado. Because the conversation started right after Charlotte last year. No?
Yeah.
The following week, you're starting Komodidi.
But let me also, comment, Socrates. I think there's something that you've done in terms of Manche. And I think that I've heard Manche say this a number of times about the fact that he didn't get media support. Listen, Entertainment Review is one of the platforms that even when Manche was not, he didn't avail himself. Maybe I'm sure that is why that 2015 that you're talking about, because we always made approach to even get to you, we didn't get you to speak to you. Now that you've been more forthcoming, and through the help of Socrates, that now you come and sit here. He virtually has to beg me and say, "Kosi Charlie, I beg you this one there." You understand? Then I said, "Oh, okay, Manche, why? We have to support him and all that." And you come here.
Thank you.
So I have to commend Kate and on that one. He's been able to work.
Cheers.
Yes, work on you.
Thank you.
And I'm sure if you have started like that, some of the problems would have ironed it out, and by now I'm sure would have been on a different roller coaster. So great.
Thank you. Because it's not been easy, but with you also sometimes they are also chire.
Yeah.
The entire one person occur. But at least
it's like he doesn't. But it's part of it. You know, Manchester is one of the finest entertainment journalists that we have.
Yeah.
And when it comes to art writing,
mommy obi history one day says history never out pa.
Yeah.
When
it comes to writing for the art, he's one of the finest. But
and Mancha gave me problems some time back.
I was a newspaper editor.
Yeah. Oh, mommy problem be Okofan Krofobi bar from US. Maybe shoot to be on Sakawa Boys. And no more 10 story, no ne Charlie a whole issue. So me and him, we've got our distant way back.
Right.
But and then
commendation to you, Mancha, too. I mean, with how at least I know you hardliner when it comes to this thing, media interview, especially because you shy away from controversies, which is also part of it. I mean, agreeing to also do this interview. I mean,
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
You know, Medanya say Biabi Drew Hansi na eneno. I can say from what I know, my brother is fine. He is fine and smiling because if I'll speak from government side and as a GTA side now, I can say everything that my brother needs to organize his events has been done for him. Everything. When I say everything. He was crying over wood last year. Wood or koto 25,000 be we are wood. Now he's not even crying. Okay, finish. Even the wood crab last year no. Into the Mancha is fine as we speak now. No. Oh, I'm talking about the kind of things that has been done. In VHS and okay, done. Accommodation for his guests. Top class hotels have been provided for over 50 guests coming. Yes, everything. The venue, line permits, everything. My brother now sleeps and wake up around.
We're sorted.
Yeah, he's really.
Sorry, 9 o'clock.
Sorry, 9. Over friend, no, the first need your friend.
I haven't had like 6 hours sleep in the last month. If you just sleep short. Oh, no.
So, now the challenges of yesteryear, which is the space, has been taken care of. Into your but there's one interesting part this year. One nationalism park, there will be bouncy castle there for Enquara. Nipa Bebri, your Mumba.
Baby, how to entertain the kids? Okay.
Parents, no. It's me and Antimu.
But how can back go? Then that breaks to mind. Maybe I should touch on that security. How's the provision like? Manche, maybe you can touch on briefly.
National security is involved. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you talked about the kids.
Yeah.
Because if I'm leaving my kid, I'll be worried about the safety. How and all that.
The national security is coordinating all our stuff.
Okay.
So we're sorted.
Okay.
Car park.
Trust.
Now why no police? National security.
The police have a national security unit. All the security organizations. Part of national security.
So the meetings, they are part of the meetings.
Yeah.
This time it's Ghana Charlotte Festival. So it's not Manche. Ghana it's not Manche doing it's Ghana Charlotte Festival.
But let me also commend the critics, media critics, Oma criticize it about say Abain Emwa. and this time Aban Abwa into yen shifty conversation no yen shifty no me critics na baso yeah but me bo critics na baso obia de na no to mu bi enne
right
yeah into
2018 it was the bois was massive. Yeah. So let's
2023 bois is massive.
Okay. All right. Manje. Maybe final comment. Anything you guys want to say or you're cool? Anything?
Come out and enjoy some street arts and let's have fun. We're making history and I'm happy that it's coming from Ghana. For me, I'm happy that the world they're looking for new knowledge and they're finding it here.
Okay.
So from Monday the 21st, 3 p.m., we're assembling at the Christian Ball Castle. It's an all-white affair. Please don't wear black or brown. All white. And join us in the all white. No, just all white. All white. Afeni yang. All
right. Thank you very much for passing through that. Manchai Ikwe, the director of Chalawote Street Art Festival. Jwada no mo sha se me sure so be pebre na watche enti de bia the fear jwada kono unya bra no akwa akofa honum say usu waman the various places that State Farms traffic light honum say and Musa Independence Arc honum saying now they call Black Star Square. And to me find more or less like usu area honum saying dear fiti ejwada kono ebetemu ni nyina ya Chalawote Street Art Festival. Me sure say mo amako bi da no. You know how fun, you know how exciting ASR Festival is. This year more space baby ya ho be high. I'm sure you'll be there. Fiti Ejwada Echo Bomodia say ode hu ebe gym. That's the Chalawote Street Art Festival baso Ejwada na just almost as here yenfa yenko na just say na ye 1990 muni ehwe ni so ade ye hwe art ni ne kaka ho. I'm sure say you'll be there.
The dial is hot. Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
It's the weekend. Let the good vibes take over. Only on your favorite station.
With your favorite station. Digital and on your smartphone.
The radio is hot.
What trying to jump on the other fucking entertainment review. And then it's over to some entertainment. I've been another entertainment review. I'm sitting up on the front and I see entertainment review. Now I'm my man of fans, I'm the fans, I'm the fans.
Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
It's the weekend. Let the good vibes take over. Only on your favorite station.
With your favorite station. Digital and on your smartphone.
The radio is hot.
Number one.
Them say hustle low, hustle for the paper. Small boy they hustle, then somebody want to let down. I didn't feel baby, so how we gon' make 'em? Only my man send me to you, property. And can you gas mobilia na depa, mobilia na depa, property. And can you gas mobilia na opinion on the bar. Now we make me answer. Now we make me answer. Now we make me answer. And
na dia ko wano pass shamina sabu fi nya sabi ya mini binti na shut up me was some basi suka fi se via su dia bona ema Davida shade claim say he love me so for my chica me wants someone so inside onya tina me na be sorry do me do on by back giving an me but I be da boy we give it them fire beru me na be sorry do me do on by back giving an me but I be da boy we give it them fire beru now we can be answer now we be answer now we can be answer now we can be answer I know do you wrong. Go tell me why you they treat me bad, or why you they paint me black. I'm not perfect, but I try my best. Only God knows I'm not pain. Now my enemies to shame. Oh my the more people they hate on me, yeah, me surround it around me. Oh my God, the more people they hate on me, yeah, me surround it around me. Hey, prophet, yeah, and can't you? Yeah, see, Mubinya na diaba, hey, prophet, yeah.
Mr. Drew Case featuring Mufti on the remix. Peace FM. So, the Commissioners Church International invite you to a marriage conference with the head pastor, Reverend Kasim Azoyi. This massive conference is dubbed as Successful Marriages Dependent on God's Word. We're starting Friday, 8 September to Sunday, 10 September. On Friday, start at 6:30 p.m. and ends at 8:30 p.m. On Saturday from 10 a.m. and ends at 12 noon. And on Sunday from 8:30 a.m. and ends at 12 noon. It will be held at the church premises adjacent to Achimota Melcom, around Achimota New Plan. You may call 0242-353971 or 0242-8798-896 for directions. God bless you. That's the Commissioner Church International. Or Tunis Afro Marriage Ceremony Conference. Basso Head Pastor Reverend Kasim Azoyi. A successful marriage is dependent on God's Word. Friday, 8 September. I copy me Christiana 10 September. If you are no chassis, you will no sample mu na copy a year and you no tree MP mu. Mimi danso anopa no do near pon a prem to bread. Christiana anopa a year no tree MP mu na prem to bread. Not to say no see we inti and one say Udi any betcha ye. I saw the few honum saying church premises. Any a year Achimota Melcom a band in Champe Achimota New Plan. Waiting for 0242-353971 and 0242-879896. God bless you.
Stay tuned.
Best radio.
News on your number one station.
It's the weekend. Let the good vibes take over. Only on your favorite station.
With your favorite station.
26 minutes to Oh no, sure, okay, watch. 26 minutes to 3. Yanko and Yan Twasso, Nankomaya de Twasso no. Nanseng and Chebia and a D and Como. Fa a cinema. Oga. Classroom, you need to pipe down a little. Medasi. Right. Double DP. Your school. Omo Kasabe brain. So and Koma Twasso no. Efa ayes in the trade jumain. Nansia ye din komobi about cinemas. Na ye bo eni bi wahanum say. Na ora ye born ni graphic showbiz forum one more year Nansia multi choice for headquarters wahanum say. Ora George Bosompim ewie wahanum say. Na cinema nkomo no ye boy that day no. George said and 70 bi I can no or pursue chim tian or titi ni chachi ma ba be do if you hanum saying na wabɛyi deɛ mɛma no akonya no na ensɛm no ɔde to dwa ne ɔka about cinema ɛho no ɛnɛ deɛ ɔno a waha sei no wɔnka ɛwɔ yɛ kasɛm because nano no wɔpotɔɔyɛ nti ɛnɛ deɛ wɔnka waka nkasɛm na asɛm about cinema paa ne sɛn George so mo akɔ aba bio so asɛm no ne sɛn paa sɛ wobɔ no tɔfa deɛn na wɔka about cinema wo se cinema deɛn
cinema no wɔn mo se ɛyɛ spaces anaasɛ baabi ɛyi sini no wɔn mo se isha ɛna mka sɛ isha mpo a deɛ ɔhɔ mi cinema that's the first thing okrofo kɔhwɛ ma ade no ɛyɛ mama yɛtimi nya ho emfaso that's the first thing second thing because ɛkwan na bi wɔ hɔ ɛno sɛ spaces yɛ bɛhwehwɛ because there's a law no kyerɛ sɛ deɛ emra yɛ sɛ fa so ne yɛ de hwehwɛ baabi a yɛ bɛ use for ɛyi sini no nti wohwɛ baabi te sɛ we are mede emra ne ba wohwɛ section 10 of our law the law na me quote from here at 935 wohwɛ section 10 na ɛkyerɛ yɛn sɛdeɛ yɛsɛ yɛnya baabi a yɛyi sini ɛne nneɛma bi ɛsɛ ɔmo yɛ sɛ ɔmo sɛ obi bɛ apply sɛ ɔbɛgye license na ɔpɛ sɛ oyi sini wɔ some space ɔno no create a nneɛma bi ɛsɛ ɔmo yɛ ɛna ɛno nso no ɛwɔ committee a ɛhwɛ committee no wohwɛ list of wɔn a wɔwɔ ɛfɛn sɛ committee no so a police for ka ho fire service for ka ho environmental protection for ka ho GTA for ka ho electricity corporation for ka ho ɛna town and county planning for ka ho municipal assembly ka ho sana ɛyɛ national film authority for no so ka ho ɛna ɔmbɛhwɛ
tio microphone no bɛ wa no kakra man pacho
ɔmbɛhwɛ sɛ
yeah me that's it
then so ɔmo de show on martin ɛyɛ cha and I make us even if you go into the spaces that we have around us ɔkɔ baabi te sɛ hotel hotel sin bi ɔmo wɔ saa standard cinema ɛyi ni bi wɔ hɔ baabi te sɛ Alisa hotel wɔn mo bi wɔ hɔ a wɔkɔ a wɔbɛtumi ayi cinema hɔ clean ufiri hɔ nom na wokɔ the first baby to say physicians and surgeons wɔn hɔ nom no it's 800 people wɔn first bibi obi obroni fɛ no first acoustics ne nyinaa correct perfect ufiri hɔ na kɔ baby to say Zenith college nti mo me we say me kɔ mo ma me kɔ nja say bia me kɔ na me kɔ hwehwɛ bi mmerɛ wa I can show you physical first ɛyɛ ɛwɔ hɔ nom a yɛbɛtumi ayi yɛ sini hɔ yenya gafta for am be cool me join National Theatre even the folks place on crazy is new hot man na me can some say you can see be cafe na for enti it's not like we don't have the spaces. That's what I believe. Even if we don't have enough spaces now, I'm saying that let's create it.
So a man for assembly said you need cinemas.
Yes.
Enti abansi cinemas enfama Ghana. And I was saying o say your spaces ni bi wo honom say.
Yes.
Not necessarily say bia cinema say din that so bad yewo various venues be and abubo bi say bia Zenith College ko mo auditorium abetima ko yisi ni wo honom say and I can physicians and surgeons or mo call it
higher Blue Crest University ko mo about 200 seater perfect sitting there just last week here me ko yi e wo Pentecost for center bi mo see new one bi mo see e wo kwa benya wono kokore cinema setting and kasa no mai enti what is our problem because my thing is that unibi now person creative ya first no you look through
na then na say be a man for kasa be a here school dan you need school dan na e bia ya ba pata bi na say ti ase na nkoda ni suanom say no nye school dan ti yensi school na eno de ya pino so ke si school no munya school be bi on betna na say man for say cinema purposely yenim hawa the acoustic ni keka kan se na esi aye no te se bia silver bed you be ko se na esi aye no kama enti cinema ni hono ma o si there bi because bia university bi aye ni auditorium ono aye anka bia wono se wo mo de yom assembly bia na mo eyi bia nhie mu bia na mo de ye no o se hono ne enko yisi ni
kwesi aso america no enti am de mra ne kan ho no o mo sankrofo e kokohwe na se ne fata na de ye cinema hall
and yes sana tell you and yes ehun hia krase
sankrofo we no mo ba kwakohwe no to my best of knowledge no sani money it's our baby a omo be kono kwakohwe na mabobo so tia no these people the thing will qualify for that
okay.
The safety in this animal no it's there already okay. Because the way we to set up the place no stand there
okay
well enti enye baby bia me cause me bo ma me team kaka And as I'm baby American, I've gone there to use those places, some of them already. Minim said it here.
Okay.
Oh, and see, even you, let's even put all these things aside. National Theatre, isn't it conducive for us to show films there? When was the last time the people showed film at National Theatre? And yet, the normal state performances more often. When was the last time people even premiered their film at the National Theatre? When was the last time people premiered a film at the International Conference Center, which has all these acoustics and everything right? And see, what is the argument? My point is, we have to start from somewhere. No BNC cinema hall. But even what have been built already, I was very happy that Graphic, after Graphic, I think the stakeholder meeting the following day. When we're talking about numbers, almost after COVID, nothing will do 50% of what they used to, the turnover at first. And so, what is the argument? What's the argument? Because are you going to create more to be social? One more obiaba also person by investment to you. You can find data, mara. Oh, I will make 50%. They can't even feel it. Do you think somebody will invest in that manner? Why not everybody investment? No, it's based on data and based on analytics, and yet based on just the fact that emotions. Say, oh, yeah, here cinema hall until everywhere. Now, see, I may call a part of it. They may call Cape Coast. And I may call a CNC for Aeon. I was surprised because I used to that for shows with Besano Money. And when I went there, the kind of setting they've done right now with the air conditioning, BBI, and UMP, I was surprised. And I'm saying that what are all these centers that we have dotted around the country? Have we done that empirically? I go around, all those places. It's not possible to use that now. Maybe you know what, Tema? We used to have for instance, 3 cinema halls in Tema: Power Club, Community Center. And there's another one. I've forgotten the name of the other one, but they're not private. And these 3 centers, no. The truth. 66. That's under the page. The page hotel, no, and nobody 56 you know, and all these cinemas. Look, because you be the set time, ton Ghana films. I'm talking Ghana films, you know. And later on, he came back to Ghana. But that was around 2011. No, and when they mine back in $1 for $1. No, when he said cinema halls and Ghana films, one no. Still, I see, I mean, no, because they are mind there. Nobody's following because nobody really thinks about Ghana. Baby Rex even as Yasamanka may house management renew that lease for that place for 30 years. Me free Ghana films up to this time from ever 2013 up to this time. How many years? It's barely a 10 years. It means that lease, no, our government here at that time. So we still have 20 years of that one. That nobody is using that cinema hall. As someone gets Rex, it's your. And at the Hanoma because nobody is following it. Nobody cares about Ghana anymore. After one more power at that time, no. They're interested in just the space where they will use it for TV3. They sold it to themselves. Everybody knows about this. And so, boss open up than or not better than politics. And cinemas are who do to say be a Rivoli or on this animal. We have arrangements. We use a coming command. Anyway, or no, maybe Bonnie didn't sorry. Because look, the kind of things that you are thinking about, because look, we have a problem with leadership all over. And it's not this. When we even entered this constitutional era, it's even worse. Why? Because people think that they can engineer things and make it says interest say no about after that bit now dining Ghana films dining they didn't care about the cinema halls because those other bits no I buy myself follow because if you want my LC out okay baby say plaza say free and entirely because I came for don't want which ministry at that time and now Ministry of Information. And Sana, we events a new tourism, and so we go and do them. Me hold one day, I coffee, Safum Hodomo commission. No, I say on person come about cinema. I'm a friend in penny for me, friend Mr. Kofi Abekwe, and I'm a friend acting. Events not acting, but no acting. Yadam Coman. Any a we listed all the kind of cinema was also they were there from the beginning. Yes, listed cinema was there because that one was not part of the sale to TV3. And to those ones, you should have followed it and go and say that look, sorry, I'm sorry for. And why they use to be a home saying? Oh, say maybe when they are sorry, maybe when they are so Nancy and why not the mom some fine sorry no. I don't know.
Because I was saying those things in you lazy for 30 years, I said 20 years in India. Yes. Ghana buying it just at least.
Ghana for buying. I say we since that time no, yeah, mama, you know.
So it's supposed to be under the government. Say be a buying on as Samia Honumina.
Yes. Because we signed those things in the name of.
Is it just Rex as a man can say
No. It's dotted over. Yeah. We know. What he did was that. Oba no. Oh, baby, from the little bit of history, you're caught into a year. Now there was that colonial era. Now no more FSA Gold Coast Film Unit. No. Yeah. Now Gold Coast Film Unit before I transform into the Ghana Film Industry Corporation. No. That's all. Yeah, you can see since the 19th because then there's a colonial master on all day and
But George, I said, okay. I said, my
house now awarded. No. India for no no.
Yeah, but you didn't move from Kwame Nkrumah because this year.
No, I'm telling you how they acquired these things.
Yeah, but
they acquired cinema halls. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying,
arrangements for leases in here, and those ones, the ones I'm talking about now, because they be one, they see and yet but nobody cares about it. How many people think about Ghana now? They don't even think about Ghana. Oh, until they don't make this thing. And Sasaranka saying is one of the lots that I'm just giving an example. Say no, maybe it will be in the sign is idea no. 30 years in sign lease. Maybe what mommy years, 10 years. So if you still have 20 years of that, it's there. That's one case Rex. You know, and we had arrangement with VRA for Akosombo, and so the whole thing that Ghana films used to be the hub. It will be in senior, not the other. Then they will do the exhibition all around the country for you. And it was because of that, because the arrangement in the man no more. But
no question say some year to say be our can Rex. Yes, when you know what I'm saying. But is it fit for people say be in terms of cinema showing? Because that time was I think there was cellular one me boy.
Yeah, but say I call it video. Me hold me any video.
Okay.
Video say na we start we do on films ban here. Those times say piano on call is that those times yeah. But it's actually even easier. Comparatively.
To say Miami are okay because Ghana films yes I know different. I know meaning because of the way I heard him say it here. But I'm talking about places be to say be a Rex ya or boss we.
Na plaza me any video time me any. Say 80s 90s near na so me I was there up to 2013. And it that time me any video.
Okay.
Well, 2004, 2005, video films on. Well, but the point is that people have forgotten that when that thing was on, and that's cinema, I saw for sorry now, my started here. They were still using it, but people didn't know. When we were not using it for film a year, no more, but still no more use it because they knew that ecosystem was good for them. And now they are doing it better. How they have done it, you'll be surprised. And so I'm just saying, let's take the pragmatic effort. No, say, oh. Way idea, when so yeah, but fine, with me, and then they'll use the law to pass for them to use a place for these kind of things. Okay. Because look, moving people say moving easy anymore. Who is moving people easy?
Yeah.
So what's the big deal about it then?
Okay. Councillor, microphone meaning nanu I didn't come on say oh hanum say bia near George and dey ono akasa waba wo cheche nsemu mu but ne okay menjo adwen check akra cinema e bi say yes aban ma yenya cinema hall say betimi eyi sine yeni cinema say anu ka honti na ma sine say bia kwakọ hwese ne adwuma no kra ba for ne ka ka ho George say yes ye wo miamia bebre wo honum sin we can still use anu krampo no ye use ye ntimi use ye na ya ba be kase em kosi cinemas foforo efamai mitio
Brambacho mz ne voice na e ball last time ye kan sana de tone sana o kan sisi na e different so obekaya
can I make a comment because me no kasa dey na am because time akwani bisa question be me say yi anu and am the law no e kan but I no man that's why I'm here
and I'm gonna me the boy has some na make until the ambo the one my ambo what I say
say nyam na mama
and I'm saying nakase odi akire ni boy no so
oh how do I do that
hey bema Ghana ha yes say wa dey do so anya hwe nya kwan yanko ani
anytime about because this is akwani ko kan so odipa na mbo voice so arrest no that's not the only thing he also mentioned that Peter said if you the sneak on Netflix wan kan kire no ni nyina na ya no hon ma fe na ewu opa frame na bisa
ani wo no pol e wa kire bam che se dia ye born hana yenso ye de ma won hon ye di nkomo na akọ is that say one pa I mean the response was very cheeky. Honestly, yes.
What make it cheeky?
No. I mean, what they played. And I say, oh, I mean, it's a son I can't dear massa. And you, I say, oh, can you know if I say, I buy. I won't hear so busy cinema baby. Gye wo home nsi bibia. Sani afa no.
George, monkasa.
Labi ambo.
I didn't know more. Yeah, you alluded to something that I said.
Sana kan nsa ne yanso yate akan no. Ehun hia sa ba besi bibia. Dia wonu ma yusu wi. Mo dia wi na mo pa bia ka ho. Sani afa no.
Oh, how?
Aha.
So that's misinterpretation then.
Well, everybody has a right to misinterpret what you say, but I'm saying, sir, in that conversation, that is how it sounded. Me and you say, oh, George, you himself were too much details not to say that. It's a repetition of what you said. Just that you've expanded the conversation. Because you say, yeah, so abaya say, and I saw omumu say, mo share boss say cinema bi ambesi say ni say mo nyaye. You go see the abenchi. But won komodie mu constantly offer. O say Ghana no bi ampebio.
And it is true.
Think.
Who's following anything that belongs to Ghana?
Yes. Including yourself.
It doesn't include me. That's what I'm talking about today.
But you are Ghanaian.
I'm following it. Otherwise, I won't be here. I would have sat in my house.
Okay. And then just say, Obia.
So you're alluding. You see, you're alluding to things that are not
No, George, don't think of what I say.
Meti asiepa.
On come dey say be Ghana no bia fa ho biom.
Yes.
Nam say Obia fa ho biom, including you are not Ghanaian.
Well, I didn't say Ghanaians. Obia.
Who say Ghana no bia fa ho biom?
Yeah, but I'm here and I'm saying that me family hunting tiano.
I think I was sakasa no be.
Yes, sakasa no. Otherwise, I won't be here. Why am I here? Me ba be.
Oba so be corrected the ambo no.
And what is it about?
And he's just repeating the boy.
It's about Ghana. The fact that we have
so somebody
things that we are not.
So George, so from your conversation, you are doing what is supposed to be done that nobody is doing. Is that what we are saying here? So that I can change my conversation. Because be a me pimp corner say nobody cares about Ghana anymore.
Yes.
Good. But George is here because he's the only one who cares about Ghana.
I'm not the only one who cares about Ghana.
But you know some people too.
I'm just saying that today, in terms of this particular thing that we are dealing with, I care about Ghana. Yes. Because it's important. That's why I've lived all my life. Since I was 16.
So
I've never done anything besides this thing.
So is it wrong for people to ask for cinema?
Is it wrong? I'm not saying that. That's why I'm becoming maybe the end bit. You really listen to what I
George.
I said we have to start from somewhere.
George.
We don't have to wait for it.
Hello, George. George. So only yes idea view person view na 7.
Brabedas. And to the true me
them. I'll write them somewhere.
I said, bra, one say, and come on George here didn't dey kan ye fit ase no. Yen conversation from this angle and say here cinema hall because George can say the person kire venue so kire nyina bra on note down say the cost involved in going to premiere a movie at, for example, Mervyn Peak Hotel hall as compared to National Theatre and as compared to Gamma Films areas on would the cost be the same? It's place no ho. Nansiam ye gospel musician do na omo shows no sorry say taile ye koye wo dome meboa. When you come behind the scene now share cost involved enti e dey call dome ho no enye say dome ho no ye pan man o George but the woman say e car obi tua wo ha ne de man hanti cost nti na okọ enti obi ye movie premiere movie be so tua 50 Ghana no nya numbers they say wa campus say bibia mo ye we start 20 Ghana microphone start so mo ba enti premiere na ye no kra na oji 20 Ghana microphone ba na 20 Ghana show budget a wo ye pan ni venue cost empo keke na one shot 20 Ghana ne san say onya no was snap wo ye no wo moving pikinti na say ko be say 60 Ghana so me ka say ye ka say bi apeti ahwe no ye hwe cost no so ana Senabea say your Yanya Diemna is built for it. I believe that the cost because of National Theatre, honestly speaking, other venues, you know, compared to National Theatre, are more affordable to other places. You're renting for event. So and we are designed for and we are one. And the Koya Bemwa, Sankrofu ya who can you say we should go through them. No, yeah, National Theatre. It say your microphone will hold that. They are part of the system. And ye use place now. And you finish a couple of months by clearance now. It is a cleared place for such services. So it also reduces your cost involved because who call police, who call AMA, who call fire. When you here to clear a place for you, and I don't know whose cost is it. Is it for free? And now ubenya access na but a venue that has been built for such thing no yet him say it is clear for this and to reduce your cost. The next point they say bra or say nyama nyina egu ho obi anya me bisa say whose duty is it to show available qualified places for movie premiere or movie showing because say obi nim say breyawa had ne say ukọ Hane say okwa na nim say okọ bra ho abenya ne so benya ne sia won't it help the system go ka say first na socket mu ye na mo ho no omo ye ya because you have the power to distribute amuni ba bia ebetimi akono ya de bra mu no mutumi run through ni nyina is that system still running and as see ade wona okoyo movie na wona say ohwehwe places no what should be the system like so that because the way you presented the thing so brilliantly it means say any problem okrom ha o na say me ko sunyani a baby wo ho me ko Cape Coast baby wo ho what I say and now in sorry no will be ready to use venues now you want for church but I'm telling my brother and sorry no will not give us their venue for some of the things we want to do. That's the truth. Ube premier movie na obi abeji plaza I in a church na say see wow be on farm bound. The pastor will not give you the clearance because in your movie premiere no ube nyama bi wo ha person ba and he will give you the venue. So me bisa wo mesra wo nyama wo ho ye de nyanko say o da so tinkwam I see a gi ade if you answer na nyama be fro no afre wo. You have too much information to get these places running. So that if I come to Ghana Films or go to wherever and I want to premiere movie, I should have a simple platform in this digital time. Say, oh, where your venue, where you're clear, so that we can say, from what you are saying, but say me duty say me shusha baby, me cause zenita.
Yes,
I better not say mama me. My last point is say, what can say siano? What my ati say? Na say cinema baby na go on. Spaces need a hona yen use. Number 2, who can say last presentation Silverbird for Beka say after COVID, to me hit position. And the data. And it me they call investment at the back. Yes, you go to beside data. Maybe I say encrofwe nyina call your movies ni nyama ni we a data no one e kwaje. And then you be a said yes say for data no ba na data no or the kwanya command wine. Because you see a data ni dey bibia. System ben ye that 2 man microphone mu premium movie omo di data ne be ko and an hye ben so na mo ya aboa won enkanka wa sisi ade wo na aka wo last man standing bra ma wie
okay questioners mami tiwe
no if I didn't count I ready kwasi yes you rabusompe wankasa wa ha na opese wo church ensem ba ku menu bia na anu nkomo ye di wo ha no ma ofise be se de oti no ofie no anko no se de anko no square se de oti wo ofie no anko no square ntine se so oba na ye ginchire mu kwasi de di kan se na anu discussion na ye di wo ha no se utie said they are ne Yerabo some pimankasa waha while elaborate while expanding common. Now the compare said they are young voice your boy na ye na susu ye nimino as a person who he is. Ne Bobbiana said ye nimino. Said Yerabo some pim ye creative art is one strong pillar. A banu library of knowledge or in terms of ye PBB, penibia could be an asem, fa fem huns and someone, or friend or bitmania no ye the amount. Now checking the feedback, not the madana. Of course, Ubibia and who own to me, and ye and Sibon say, comment now, be a move faciano, be wrong, because the way I'm commanded by no, a ye namona, we were raped by the level of. We were raped because I mean the presentation I quite to say namuntu mi crown fele if was Sutherland Park na mo kope Accra Sports Stadium. That is how the whole thing was presented, and indeed we're a bit baffled. Be say enkomo ya who can say who now most like one last standing man. Who you? You. The way who can it means that you should rather esesa woman kwa na upia ban say esesa ban to me din na nse from kete say sa ban ka so obesi theater e dey support movie industry esesa ye sha ban kete ye hye mo ha na no you have to be part of that conversation to push drive government force him to be able to get the theaters established even if not two krana ba kubi esa ban sisi because most of these cinemas halls here obodin there was a man kase wo kan ni de wo na ade na no possibly say idea even conversation kwakọ ba say yen partner with us yan kasa ye wo hi yen kan humom na yen draw government attention say simple so ni sika kwese abaji sa ban po ni sika say a opeso odi cinema for brand new chow cut sort ebunu egu atutu formasia ne was a man kase a wo kan wasemi another way we no government in pebesa 1 million Ghana cedis kra ne fan ko ne putting into proper shape for usage for the film industry so the beya you betumanya baby a premier yesane because the conversation only movie producers ni na kasa one of the issues that table so say ni na no has to do with premier and how they can be able to get revenue. Say wamu di sika kwa shemwa. It is actually dwindling the movie industry because you can't track revenue with what you are spending on set. Because possibly ubakono venues no you can't premiere we hapa asa yes ba kubo kumase yes silver bed we yeah me yina na wo kakra say silver bed for catch say as at today omuntumi kwan fele 50% of capacity no say 50 omuntumi kwan for fele 50% in terms of capacity it means that will come on a different conversation but I'm saying say the Republic of Ghana say when it come to cinemas any say the panel the modern architecture nim with cinemas the modern acoustics here ebetumi amaya nsusu as Ghana for your movie industry yet me compete globally say to say na no ayi for ayi movie actors or movie Ghana abrochi ba ya no mo so ba be sisi ayi movie hwan center yi look at them omo ba here na say ye one professional cinema center hall kese ba akoko e wo a chese ye betuma so ne nsem de akwa so ade na mo ba be no government cross start initiative yes ba akwa ha perfect one for premiering of movies I will be trusting in now immediately ye be premiere movie na pa wie na nimiri every 2 hours to say the yanka obo what here no there's proper revenue stream betuma aba it calls for you investment no can say 1 million amode ba mon double na $2 million that conversation we could with baby Edu say no we require a practical effort and I love your practicality Uncle Bosom me level of me practicality to how we attach it to some of these conversations and for me that's where I come from we need to get out of the books in terms of English language and get to a level of yewo aden wo oko Ghana na yewo 10,000 seater capacity to premiere a movie irrespective of whatever Rivoli Cinema has irrespective of whatever Blue Crest has Blue Crest Hotel no he built it as part of the no you been working in school and why in 200 seater capacity conference facility at the Atachi one country say a cinema center he didn't build the place as a cinema center when me school and Miami 200 possibly if it could even be my assembly hall where I me student pass out I want me gather omo na me mom certificate me boa it could even be most of a year UPS omo hall omo see no they didn't build it as a cinema center they built it because that is where it's a student hall Uber pass out a student near graduate mo ye do mu na kogu a hall ye koka brofo near the certificate ne de mamo what I say it say what they no comparison say because some of these edifices are available and the government we should stop blowing horns making noise to government to go and build auditorium for us. Obi to baby Obaka said no. The conversation and mathematics now is wrong. And that is where we are all coming from, sir. Where you sitting now, no, as uncle Nana Bosompem, baby, I want to say no. Before you exit fully from this creative art, you should force any government to provide one at least cinema hall for the creative art industry.
Okay.
And it is mandatory on your neck.
Kwesi me da say Tilly meet you microphone now yes.
Okay, so maybe I'm Gina last time no matter who Gina because clearly no because he's involved and as a in a personal your friend is saying mandate so obe finding this place still on him but what can you na they are not cinemas so institution be now a hobby and then you are trying to make us know that they are all parts of places we can use but it doesn't make them cinemas sebe you wait me there can you list what snap cinemas sa baby your friend is saying silver bed near there you know that part I still stand there but and there some our canon it's just giving me this question. How come it looks like more and more ground, you know? The problem of the film industry is different from one or more top. No, that is the question. That's the question I want us to ask right now because it's problematic. What ground? They say the problem is not the cinema. The problem is the love for the cinema culture. Na any hona. Emanipa empu emba cinema sa obeka senti because of that yen see another cinema but I know that the NFA woman is also going for conferences trying to get people to come and build more cinemas. Why is there a disconnect between more and more? What is going on, say?
Listen, this conversation came up because of that same summit.
About the boat, what I say we are Pacho, my mama Socrates Casana may use them now. Yeah, Socrates. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Let me say, Minue, I am Mobokakra. Because once a conversation, a bit technical. Na this uwumu ansa na nia ye kan obeti ase. One, the cry for cinema halls no. E de na de aba. Enya se ne ni cinema halls. I'm going to repeat myself for the opting time. Enya se ne ni cinema halls o.
Oti brofo.
Tell okay. Stand your bitch.
Thank you.
Repeat the English language. Is that what?
Engine Kwesi.
Hey, you taking the money? Repeat that thing.
Kwesi.
For the
one. Na cinemas no.
Yeah.
Na bi wo ho. Cinemas na wo Ghana. Cinemas na wo Ghana no. Na ebro 200. Na ye films ewo ho. Ga aban dia na ewo mu no. Na ye ba ko 6. Aban dia ewo mu. Just in Greater Accra pe. And na aban the near what outside Asaman Kesi. Rex. Ni aka ni nyina ye private. Enti the call ye call aban no. Omo ye call no meti omase. But technically no, ubetimi hu say the call should rather go to where Bosompem a call attention that day na enti ase any emotions bi bear mu enti amanfo bebre enti na se no eya the emotions bi ne kasa but technically no what he said was right. Silverbed na ne Silverbed for ne kasa omo sibie wo ho no the problem they are going through no is not something say wo sebi ye mon sika anase ye kase ko bank koje besia ne fa besi cinema ene na ohwe Silverbed data the numbers at Silverbed you will not be able to pay that loan ultimately because the data what the patronage enipa ko hwe sini every day no sini nda bi wo ho but enipa ko hwe sini no Silverbed is not making that much money. And I don't have their permission. But you didn't come out behind the scenes. Inti maybe wa answer minti minka. Baba minka ni general. Obi ho e bia we cinema hall. Enne onya e pa anka we jai. Tisenia Mekachre say when the captains were going to close down, they called Mr. Hackman because he was having his office at Opera.
But your young captain,
captains normal cinema halls, almost normal cinema halls 7 or Accra. Cinema halls, no, yes. Almost friend Mr. Hackman, I was there. Me buy Mr. Hackman, me say, oh, no, didn't say, Mimro, Yonko. Yakokotina hono. Or say, the family has taken decision to stop the cinema business. They want to.
Into cinema halls, when no more.
Oh, no more when Orion, Teshin La Scala, Labadi, Olympia, Palladium, Kai maybe me free. Ofe, ewo collegono. About 5, but they had 7.
Gaskia.
The biggest guy private.
Now the captain or no public.
Dunia Cinema. Dunia. No, Dunia will be private. But says cinema house in never whole. But no di frey no can say and ye be say oh are they and no say now people don't come to cinema anymore.
Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah. And he puts his we pay bills every day. We are paying bills. People don't come again. Now you show film on TV. Everybody watching film on TV. That was his cry. Why? Because they come there. People don't come to the cinema. The films were now on TV. There is one manager be our friend or Peso Kasebi. I remember Plaza. Me call her the Plaza. Your friend is saying, "Nimi ko yi film be our father." Or train me a buy or say Brabeshe. Na Babri show be or Plaza and chain. Or dim Bejina or say share. Or dim Bejina and say share. Sinina mu you know. Obia ma your call office no more or money agina so. And you are calling us to still come and open cinemas where that thing na a year man from cinema hall no.
Which means someone kase yen cinema, yen see cinema no.
They don't understand, Kwesi. What is their age?
Misplaced.
The generation today don't understand how the thing collapsed. Anytime you raise it, people will tell you, say you are stone age. You are stone age.
Do you know what you are saying is very problematic? Because Woma workers they don't understand. Is the NFA penny for so they don't understand the problems of the NFA. I mean the film industry.
Another time.
No, but that is the question I asked because still more ground now more film no more say there isn't the patronage.
Don't solve the problem that caused the problem, you will add to the problem by doing the same thing because the cinemas were there. Minuka say ye twamwa ye hu sinidan no woko baby private ones no ni omu nyina o if you are buying po de enya buying de tunchen but the private people who were running it no they stopped by themselves aban de ni po de se eton ye but private people na wo mu no omu nyina omu jajai ye enti ye hwe ni entre jai every businessman so or the bibi market ni eto ochina obekofa more enti that is where the problem is. If we don't fix it and we push government say abansi, we will build white elephants and nobody will go in there. Please, let's listen to your friend is saying kakra.
Words of motivation.
Because asamna here kano is a small problem be.
So why are you not solving it?
Because the people don't understand the problem. If I give you a challenge,
the NFA, the same NFA.
You see, Kwesi, me fa se be solve problem be. Problem be wo ho me fa se be solve. No won ti ase a. What do you ever come on baby? I hire now we see in time.
And so the person Nippon or they go around no fire
because it's not that we don't have problem with cinema halls. I'm telling you, Tisania, your friend saying, in the past, Crampon, there were cinema halls at Orion. You started use Orion, SIDEs, you know. Wouldn't say, now there were technical challenges.
So, okay, okay, all right.
I just want to respond to
George quickly. Yeah,
kind we know, me can say, your committee so it's not like baby or because we were but if like he said the private people were even dominating the cinema halls, but what they did was that they did the linkages with the Ghana Film Industry Corporation. So we executive theater no saying you are the normal bigger theater and other places now they call me. That's the first thing. But what I want to actually emphasize on is that there's a law that gives us the committee that goes around to look at these things before it is made a cinema hall. So it's not like we just go there and go and grant them the cinema hall events and status. No. Don't do that. The fire service, all those people will go there as a committee based on the NFA's own law. License.
Saying so creative. Sorry, only Kobirana.
Issues of Kobirana. So that places will be licensed before. So you can't say, oh, no. That's why I started with the law and made a section 10 available to us. The other thing we should also understand, the other second.
That's my question I say we're going to answer.
Yes,
the committee is there. So how available are they that can just access them? Is it by phone call? Committee. Is it by email?
It's application, by application.
So that they come and clear the place for me. So I'm going to use Brewcrest Hall. How do I access them?
No. I'm almost in the training of doing. I'm saying these are things you should know.
Yes.
I mean, but your classification committee is a part of Mojuman.
Yes. License.
They are all canon. And yet, anytime you want to go and show some mobile, you one off.
It's one off. They give you a license and that's it.
One off. And yet, every day when you are going to show, Tilly is going to show, Kwesi is going to show, then they will come. No. You're one off. So the place will be licensed. That's all.
The next thing I'll tell you about, we say about cost, about cost. You know, the thing is that we should also think about the fact that cine there are dynamics. There are dynamics. There's open air. There's like the National Theatre. There's Silverbird, and all these things come in classes. Even time and Ghana films all there's executive. Besides executive, in a town, Nipa is step. And they all the bigger one that Nipa 250 to go to them, and then there's a lie and so on. Wow, different as plaza and so on is the lower end. Man, probably people and all those people come and sit there and make noise and that kind of thing. You understand? And so they've done it based on different levels. And I don't determine how much you even pay. And that cost thing that you're talking about, say, these things, we are talking about me. I'm just saying that I'm being pragmatic. I'm saying that look, this is where we find ourselves, mostly in here space. I'm saying let's go and locate these places. If it is viable and it is good enough, let's do the licensing based on the law. You understand? Then we wait for that kind of thing that we are saying. Then we do that. But the truth is that government is going to see the sustainability and the viability. Because what you say, any other business person make it a business. So me always see dying. That's how I never hear me. No. What does anything make about data and this animal now cover data some buying. That data no. Like I said, the conform one more year business here no. And I say you because government have priorities as well. I'm not saying government shouldn't build anything for us. That's not what I'm saying. Because that summit here, because of what? Any investment. The investor say, at the end of the year, no say I 10 cities, but me I 5 cities. Who do that?
Already in your
I'm just being practical. I'm saying that look, we don't have it. If we say we don't have it, I'm saying look, there's this spaces, this angle that we can attack it. Let's attack it from that angle. I bet me because look, cinema going culture, someone all comes. That's what we want to bring about now. They say Nafti. Many department. We do this kind of now. Every last next event is Friday baby. Every near my popcorn to free. Yeah, they are to you say yeah. Nankrofo there's a your money at the better animation for better last money on the coin. Almost films in you and Cora be brainy. I don't want to buy one popcorn. Everybody sitting. We are what hon one year sitting to home. You do come on. Yeah, a gradual process. They think for number. So my person is
Mr. Mamiso Kakrana, Memfa, yes, Uncle in film room, and also FIS Cinema and Bia na National Film Authority. I'm saying a press conference be a course so ana what Nigeria Honum saying na nina ye dwumedie bia National Film Authority for edisi omeniso so mo baba ye one more friend no Africa Cinema Summit na no any the executive secretary the chief executive of Somalia National Film Authority Juliet Asante wa hwano so ye nin komo na ye nyin chechemu Juliet da say mo akwa baba entertainment review so wie
good afternoon
nempo mwe
okay.
Yeah, Joso. So, is it another press conference in the bus?
2 days ago, go Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday. Sorry. So, Africa Cinema Summit. Eye jumedie ben pa.
Me da si bebre say what take time now we e kasa e.
Yes, that's it.
Africa Cinema Summit no say wo share ejuma marketplace, film marketplace Seneca marketplace me patch be dia yeyi sinia, particularly exhibition cinema now. Even who say who take the whole marketplace cinema is the highest point. However, no, so we take the whole of Africa now. We have less than 1,700 screens. In CHS, no matter what intervention you put in place, if I know you now when you baby or the show problem go. Even if you take France, which is one country, France has 6,000 screens, but the whole of Africa there were 1,700. Now we share baby
baby ye sine no Africa o kan ye nyina bomu ana say baby ye sine 1,000 ahe
700. In fact, in 2,700, 1,600 and something.
Yeah.
Screens and yes, cinemas those screens. For instance, a Wolfpack Silver Bed here one cinema, but we call how more several rooms. Into rooms no near screens, which means to say, even if you are looking at the number of cinemas, crampona it to be less. Now, while we're more invested in cinemas, so we go into that market now. It's a whole business. It's a very complicated business. Now, Africa is not on their radar. In fact, when we share what 3 places, when we share what Las Vegas, CinemaCon, which is the largest one. And when we share what Barcelona, and we are seeing Europe. And when we share what Middle East. So, Africa is not on their radar.
I didn't know Africa, you knew on radar, so no.
And no, they mean to me in PRC, but for some reason, no. In fact, in 2021, I got the opportunity to meet a room of investors.
Okay.
It was Middle East. The third one I'm making. So when I met them and I mentioned that time, not luckily UNESCO report number, so the numbers research number out, and we could use that to justify our numbers. When I mentioned the Africa situation, they were all shocked. And it was almost as if they weren't aware. They started asking questions. Why are there no cinemas? Why does it mean that people do not go? I mean, they were asking a number of questions. To cut a long story short, yes, share situation in say for us to get on their radar, you say we have to bring them to Africa. I mean, we call her as Ghana. But now I was the only African there. Now we share some opportunities to know Swan. So we for Ghana market now Ghana shop. So to be able to attract them to look at investing in Africa now in Ghana, we have to go at Africa. And yes, our market will not be interesting. In Piano, yes, as the National Film Authority, yes, your pitch. And your car saying we are there as Ghana to come and introduce Ghana, say European cinemas, and to talk about the dynamics of Ghana. But we think say Africa is their largest opportunity. So we want to say after pandemic, there are issues around the world as to cinema. Is it going down? Is it coming up? There are so many questions, but it's a very vibrant market. It's not going to go down. So they are looking at ways to revive. Now, if you are looking at ways to revive now, your other markets are full. But here we are, we don't even have the cinema. So that's what led to us deciding, say, then let's bring, since there's no summit like that, there's no CinemaCon like that in Africa, we will lead the journey so that Ghana can benefit bring the rest of Africa along, because it's only by that then we get the cinemas that we need.
Okay.
So that filmmakers can also get the release that they need.
Okay. So Samiti was here. Sa Samiti, I'd continue my fatum hosono, and it said, Yen ma womo sini twadwuma womo ye omo senior baby a womo beyi no ya na ehwo asem ye in fact womo eni bia no enoso senior wo chiechiri na bibrem hanom nyina ye keka bomu a figure no ye se agina be 1653 for a population of almost about 1 billion no na chese screens ni nyina no chese enoso enso ani enti sa sameti butai ne se eye womo a womo de esi womo sika na omutimi sisi sasi ni mesi eno bi ena mo ye na matwe omo de aba bibrem hanom sei na machire omo se ye nso no mutimi si bi wo ha muni bai ho so a ebeboa sa na ene butai no
me patro no na waka pepe.
Okay. Na enkomo no bi a ye di wewia ewie ni se nansen ya graphic showbiz ye forum bi na sa forum na se no asemba ko pie efa ye cinema kro ya ho na penfon ba ko kasa ewie wa hanum se Ura George Bosompem na waka se sa ye prese yensi cinema ye prese ye benya cinemas no ono de ofiri se sa de no kra no ehu hia sesei esan se ye wo miamia bi wo Ghana hanum se ya auditoriums bi fa universities bi a cinemas yi bi kra wo honum se Juliet ye betimi yi sinin bi wo honum se okra no ye ntimi mfele the capacity nansen ya woni Silverbird nyanketa hodie bi Silverbird say after COVID no kra no 50% if you cry no mutimi break even by 50% bi a chese nipa no emma sene no enti say ye prese sini twadwuma mu nya cinemas no ye wo venues ana avenues bi honum se ye betimi yi sini bi honum se enti me en high ho kra se ye person cinemas wajinjire
well say problems no a doorso well into no se wo pe solution na e se wo pe multiple solutions. And I think, because of time, we don't have the luxury to say, yeah, pain, na ya bako, na akujina, asana ya take the next one. And you say, yes, solving the problems all together concurrently. Into several problems exist. The fact that even Ghanaians have lost love for our content is a reality. Because we are not meeting the quality that people want. That's the reality we can't run away from. It's part of the problem to solve is even to get Ghanaians going back into the cinema. If you look, you will notice that recently, Silverbird are starting, you see a lot of audience experience strategies. Even say, then they will, put things there that people can have fun with and interact. All of those things are geared towards attracting people back into the cinemas or to watch movies. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, as a filmmaker, the filmmaker needs access to all of the marketplace, including cinemas, airlines, DOD, all of that. If you can't access all of those places now, you will not make money. Into for real, Joe can also yampa. But I can assure you that as we speak, we are even in talks with the Ghana Hotels Association on this very point he makes. Mm-hmm. So he's very right. We are doing that too. We are in a conversation with them. In fact, one of the conversations we are going to have at the Africa Cinema Summit is what is the cinema of the future? Maybe the cinema of the future is not even what we know. Maybe it's more community cinemas, maybe it's a different model. So what is the cinema of the future? What role do even hotels and other places like that play in that cinema of the future now? He's very right. I don't think it's about who is right and who is wrong. We need to do all of those things. And at the National Film Authority, we are doing all of those things.
Do you think, sir, a bit easy trying to pitch ideas here to ABM fan say quote unquote investors one more wɔn radar yi Africa yɛn ka ho yɛ na mo hwɛ sɛ nka mo betumi atwe Africa nso de aba bɛhwɛ wɔn radar wɔn ani bɛba yɛ so yi ɛna de kronti a mi bisa saa no esan sɛ again sɛnea ebinom ka te sɛ bia George Muchichi mu sɛ when it comes to even data to even back say yema yensi cinemasi here we are amanfo enkosini Silverbird for omo bre and I've seen say Media mu ye in partnership with I think Film One Nigeria and say Silverbird for so eka Ghana hanu say in terms of numbers, what are they telling you? They normal can say yes. They have numbers of movies. Yes, you bet me they are convincing investors. Moment my basic cinemas or Ghana and Africa. I say.
In humanity, also, what we have to do. Collecting data is one of those. But even in the UNESCO report, Africa could be making $20 billion right now. And also employing 20 million. But right now we are only making 5 billion and employing 5 million. So that means that even there's a deficit. You ask your question, you ask yourself, in that amount, what portion of it could be for Ghana? Indeed, there are things that we need to do certainly to convince, the global community, land, even where to build cinemas, land issues, like the things to do are many, and the conversations are many. Conversations around technology, even ability to pay, storytelling, quality of storytelling, so many conversations. The thing is, as we are putting this on, we are also working on strategies and working with stakeholders to come up with a case for Ghana. It is the way the program is set up now. Every country will pretty much make a pitch. So in our pitch, if we are saying to cinema investors to come and invest in Ghana, we must make a good case. And also we have to think through that. Right now, and I think we've been talking with stakeholders. In fact, this conversation has been going on not just with Silverbird and Film One, a lot of filmmakers, stakeholders, there are a lot of people that have been involved. But
stakeholders, sorry, Ojuliet Mr. Stakeholders here come and say me. Stakeholders here no more a big complaining say they don't think that now cinemas, and in the problem. There's a problem, a fundamental problem. Kutia senior jumano, and yes, cinemas not because they have venues near the day. And to stakeholders when I'm unio
I would be surprised if there's a filmmaker that says that they don't need cinemas, because even Pokra is Togum, and here we are, the whole country of over, your friend is saying 35 million people. We have, less than 5 cinemas, less than 20 screens. Even if you bring hotels don't have the ambience of cinemas. Then I make one of the conversations we'll even be having is the cinema of the future. So maybe the cinema of the future is not the big malls or maybe it's more community, maybe it's even multi-purpose. Who knows? We need to have all of those conversations. But it's true. There are people who think that we don't need cinemas, but even the world where they have cinemas all over. Let's also remember that cinemas is not entertainment alone. No. It creates jobs, it connects communities, it preserves culture. Our filmmakers can never grow if their primary markets don't support them. So somehow we need to have places that, Ghanaians can go to, again, maybe multi-use, so maybe it's a cinema and it has other purposes too. Who knows? Those conversations we need to have. But to say to us, first of all, I haven't really heard anyone say we don't need cinemas. Maybe they have been taught to say, it's not the right time or whatever, but maybe I've missed that point. Then you have to pardon me. But I think we can all agree, say, we need to work on cinemas. Yes, we need to work on other things too. That's true. Like I said, we are doing so. We are even working on a tax incentive. All of that are necessary and all of that. But we do need cinemas. And I think in as much as people have their opinions, there's also the understanding that the authority is there leading the path, and we know what we are doing in consultation with everyone.
And Samiti Basso a brebe no.
Me pacho from the 14th to the 16th of November this year.
Okay.
That was moving pick and the silver bed.
Okay. All right. Juliet, you better ask me this year, say, between your two and so. Let me show. Executive Secretary, my National Film Authority, Juliet Yasanto Asante, and now on your Dean Komoka. So, Yemra Studio has a near cinema and come away. Now, you're intimate any because you're on Komo be home says, see to me share a brand so quite echo. Kasla.
Ebacho,
yes, sir.
Executive Secretary, Madam. And the problem I was here, I say, data all you so, they are running the seminars, data from UNESCO on screens. And here are some permanent secret, so data mukitani human beings attending to the screens. Until the screens in the bar, nipa nebe kono wahi. Because or say, obi kase ye nya cinemas, or nipa ne nya adwen. Secret munso chire say, places ni go na nkrofo complain say ye ma ena wa ma ye faton say silver bed you only year screens you say after covid yi on to me nya 50% of ni turnover
ba samson say Saj media moye you check out and you see say National Film Authority money partnering a for from say Film 1 Group Nigeria, Silverbird Ghana, and Tinia okay, Silverbird for no, I will come as my mom. That
is what I'm saying.
Ma'am, yeah, cry, I'm out for because I'm to be in control.
And now, what I mean just so is it like we're wasting resources and now we want title for ourselves? Because no crese, Mammy, any festival can say you every day, Madame Santi Kasa, UNESCO report. UNESCO report on screens. UNESCO report on screen. And that is agenda near screens. And microphone no see on stakeholders. No, why many stakeholders? No, because the stakeholders need be na tiga pa. Secret group no one can stakeholders no. Then these people are wicked. Etina George Carr say Ghana no be ampe Ghana. The last man standing because I'm passing. People are giving their cinemas out for churches because people are not attending. And fast forward. Ya build this silver bed for such. And Wabe Kase on hitting the numbers. But he's part of a conference coming up in November at Movenpick and at Silver Bed to get more screens. Now, Siena Socrates could be a screens be or Kumasi.
My many can't send you harm say now no Socrates make not many Socrates argument be on a catch and say or say cinema for the future. Say bia Nancy Sinina Abano. How a man for pure sinino. Sinina ye can say a yes sinino. Se sana tiana. Make I say sinicru ya wasem. Say graphic showbiz for you media. Say manon pasoda. Actor say Prince David or say Ekabibi.
David.
Say hotel cry you could see no hodum see. You perception your hotel.
Okay.
And Tinipa fi mini tilifi hotel na pie. And na yakohwe sini. But obi hu mini tili na kofo ma kwahye so hotel video feed o ma kwahye so.
Quick one on that one no.
Yes sir.
Me pa cho.
The hotel cinema.
Enye nne start see yi sini hotels.
There be na social media buy.
Oh there be pa cho. Enye nne start see that picona ne mu nyina ye yi sini
o sa.
Sometimes no
Pacho that time na omuyi picona o si cinema no. No minitili no nya betre so ko nya betre. Minitili ko hotel honuma ni epia. Omo beka se minitili akoma ya go hye so ana.
There be enye hotel dem ho ne yi sini no. Hotel no. Amanfo ko conference ho.
Asema me ka de
no obi kan sema.
What sisi wa so to say asema me kai enye asema betimi.
Me pacho me say obi kan sema sometimes you have to weigh asem so nipa ne ka no. One hotel dan no there are different your friend is saying
I don't know why you went to the hotel.
You know
restaurants.
the perception people. I don't know
there
why
are restaurants in there and you be could do a hotel or because hotel restaurant no could do so because say
it's the same thing. We need chili fee.
We've shown films in hotels and the
perception of people you are defending it.
And you are perception
you're fine. The perception is there, but we need to clear that perception because let me tell you something. Me, you know what tema? Even the page. Near you see and when I was at this was the 80s, as I'm making you. No, we see you. I'm your cocker. You know, me papa no nyina correct. You understand? The same way, it's a say I can say moving pick. Oh, we nancy am ba me chen and ba me friend papa event Kinampao. Yejini sini koko you event to me road to Accra. I'm go you discover papa. Nancy true the NFA.
We are talking about perception of people in UPF cinema now ba obi enu say office cinema. But you see, obi aka say UPF hotel perception being tino a man crofoma. So your first point say you're finding ways of dealing with the perception. It's the answer to this guy's concern. But you can't rubbish and say that in 1963 we're doing it in a hotel.
No, I'm saying that even now we are doing it. Now we are doing
and
it.
I'm saying, even now when people come out, this is the perception. How do we fight it? Because in your days, you know, obi to me in your video and picture Ember boss right from moving pic. Guess what? That's all. And a bit trendy.
Kokoza.com.
So it will trend. So how do we deal with the perception? What am I saying? And at the end, can you say you people are not on the right path? Like money one place. Oh,
that is it.
Madam, UNESCO report. Actually, say,
Jaisa.
But this is not the first time.
Because you be saying, "Asama me can okaza me boa."
Let's talk because okasa. No.
There be.
Oh, but the final statement also because you hear screens are okay. Anambra.
But someone can see here screens.
Or since because you hear cinema, sir.
Yeah.
Nipano. I don't want to make you word, but the woman want to say you hear cinemas.
But that's not what I said. I said that we have some that we should. I'm not saying that we don't need cinemas. I don't know.
But she's fighting for more. But George, General Executive Secretary is fighting for more cinemas. But as you are sitting here, you are fighting for creating the interest to attend. Is that not your problem?
Yes.
And your problem is here like that. You're on the ground. So where is the Executive Secretary? Is he on the ground too?
So I think that and I mean, let's be fair to her. Cinema. No. Fair. I'm giving you an example.
No, the English language, let's be fair. I see we are not being fair.
No, listen.
Take that. No,
okay, I'll withdraw that one.
Thank you.
What I'm saying is that the NFA has a cinema week. Although we have started some of these things many years ago with Gaftane, you using it to shape the interest of people to come and make this. Cinema week, which they do it every year. They started last year, and this year they are still making. Actually, even with the moving pic one, they initiated that thing with the people who are involved in that thing. And moving pic.
That's showing the interest of people attending now. Is that what you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they know that interest is not there, and so we should shape that interest.
So I'm saying that, are you telling us that Mr. Antubeso Kache and say Executive Secretary, Madam Yanni Nidin Komosisi, apart from screens from UNESCO screen results now obetime prove say attendance na mo see aba form no ono so wo data kire say omo whiskey ne apps na aka here because whiskey police problem for omo whiskey ne app.
I say wait man can whisk whip
police in the car say whiskey and I want practice priest want to see a whiskey into that what and to be such a executive secretary ni so nimu say omo ye nyame bia ye de tu akwan mu amunya mu hu say ye create ye incite interest na
so ye nyina ye bom the thing is that we have started it already and no so abeka ho say every year bia no be cinema week say the enso be boy na sa de man akoso because we nim sa problem no
okay.
It's not like you nim obi nim
George mamema question kakra
kwesi na me person ka woni madam wo line so no na me person ka me gina no ye bi wo bibi kakra ho the entire make us say Madam Juliet seems she portrays to be concerned with a lot of things outside than what is on the ground home. Or interest with international film first international this global market expositions now that because ntina me concern kakra tina me penanu yi kakra say enema all year seminars ahodo all year inano. Is it with the support of stakeholders? The movie industry no Senator Jumano.
That's what she said.
Or support as in say your priorities are your war as the film authority listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it our priority as at we speak? Problema if facing the film industry. Madam, Yama go ahead, permission backed by the board. A permittee said go ahead and work on it. And then post seminar is it with the backing of the board? And answer it is or no as chief executive. And now official okay, this is what I think as a CIA for the film industry in Ghana. These are very legitimate and relevant questions, sir. As I say to me, because it's looking like the National Film Authority board in its umbrella never hormono. Umbrella nankasa they are comfortable. But kwesi one more umbrella national is so sure. And me were concerned about it. How can the umbrella be there at the top big and then the people who are under are crying?
They don't hear their cry.
Because number 2 being share. So maybe say the executive secretary or a human or yama wamo or yama the people, the practitioners in the industry, and I say or no or representing government business, anti-official government and then the diaspora as against, because there seems to be as a shift be as a machine and so there's a disconnect. Thank you for that English. There's a total disconnect between
what's okay honestly what can me who me episode you
because the person me trying to say
what is where from this there now can
because the person me can say there seems to be a disconnect between what
disconnect what there now unim na we just say unim NFA program no and about now be catch you say adebio amusi saying no omonye why are you concluding things like that
me concluding say most at times say yetra hanu na say din komo about film industry. The practitioners now one kasa involved one more movie industry one kasa see omana so adene omodia no. They seems not to be happy about what is happening at the top of the NFA.
Based one account actual.
Oh, kwasi still do hanieti. We've spoken to people. People come here, they talk. There seems there's some kind of happiness being caused baby between the practitioners and the people at the helm of affairs. And so therefore, it's important that for Madam Ejuma Oye, for the interest of the film industry, no, as I say, or take it hot with this international pitching and all these things, no, and then come down to the level of the Nipana or Sevuomono, and then meet them at their point to understand what exactly we need now. Because society today, we are discussing two things. Between the practitioners, and believe we say, film culture is gone down. Cinema culture is weak. And therefore, as I say, a final can be so, yenya practical solution be a you better encourage people, actually people's interest in going to watch cinemas. The executive secretary to now is actually also focusing on pitching for people to come and build cinemas for Ghana. This is a problem.
Things are many.
Because if this is not a problem, then I don't know how we can solve film problem. Because one more, I didn't say your modiana, a humana Madame Kwakwen or Koyabano. One more, I didn't know modiana say, ye, dear Madame Oyanu, no munya. Because Senano, ye young Kwafon and Quanko Hessene. Kwasabaji, and Kwafona Daniel Modana say, ye young Kwafon Conco Hessene, until Madam Executive Secretary. Sir, I didn't have Brofuna Moka or Yemuni and Moon hold on. Brefini and Tracy, near finding solutions. Konya, you bet me develop local strategies. Among Crawford, Aqua Hessene or Ghana. Madame so say, Mosumo Dena Mokano, Moon hold on. Me kopen conform on my basis cinema hall. So therefore there's a problem. We need to find a solution to this. Because until say kwemi enu na beba boom say, Madam, their madam said this is what we are doing. No? There will be a disparity between what the NFA and the authorities are doing as against what the local people or the practitioners themselves are looking out for. Okay. Because to me, I think it's a problem.
Okay.
There's a disconnect. I don't know about from Mekano.
Okay.
So me spell swa.
Me dasi. Mama nko benim na. So great. No, Tilly bebem. Tilly, I mean you.
Yes. Summit no mo be no. A very important summit. A very important because I mean cinemas no. Clearly they are using a stakeholder from the cinema side, which is Silverbird. They be do omo susu ho so create more cassette omo ni susu dua. Omo cassette omo side no omo ni even enough data to back omo ejuma omo because sales has been low and all of that. And now omo you see Nigerian market for some so omo cinema side wa omo so omo ejuma na. The reason I am saying this is that I don't know any Ghana for. No cry about coupe. Because the primary work all
see in your cinema say about question you.
She said that our problems are also
yeah.
But every problem can be grouped into primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now you can't solve a problem from the top and expect that everything will fall in place.
When I cast every program, primary, secondary, and tertiary.
The love. See, now the problem is the reason I'm saying the M1 Ghana for a bit born Nigeria for more because they have their systems in place that is now ready for the next phase, which is the secondary. But the Ghana market is not ready. And I don't know what this whole conversation is about. One more ground, and they say there is a system that has to be checked first, which is the love for the. Listen, the entire day when we see MYNSA, before you can convince anybody, whether with UNESCO reports or what, to come to the country and come and build cinemas, they need data to prove that the cinema culture here, it is alive. To prove to you know what, there is a certain Silverbird and Snap cinemas that it has so many audience that are bro. So now you hear more cinemas. You don't have that data to prove. It means that the love, people going to the place, is not there. So how do you pass by that problem and tell me that you are going to do something that will bring people to come and build more places? It won't work. They will go to Nigeria because there is clear market there. But I don't know how to say this. I say your problem, no, they be survey from the top to the down, and it's a problem.
Okay.
There isn't the love for the thing. How can we resolve that? How do we sit with the stakeholders and say, then you're betting to whip the love back? Football is starting and say, you said the Ghana Football Association, they were trying to use artists to get the people to come to the stadiums first, build that love. So how come we are always, as the creative industry, we are jumping the ground root problem and we are fixing problems from the top? Adewe is good initiative, but Ghana because the country or the ministry or the creative arts, film side is not ready to receive the secondary problem. Oh my God.
So great. What's it?
Pass it on. No, we won't pass it on. What do you mean by what do you mean we should pass it on? What do you mean we should pass it on?
Okay, Ode so one person obeka one person Ode mimbusa asem. Me throw way. Let me throw this one in. No cre. Na no am call Silverbird. Ye nua ba akutia no send message say, Kwesi. Na cinema ya wo mo kan. Na no okohwe sine e wo Silverbird no. Wo mo je no 100 Ghana cedis ni echire. Na nipa dodo ahe eno menya 100 Ghana cedis ni echire so am de kwa kohesene no kre na anu am kohesene o Silverbird no babi no ba ta me fi honum sei no na ma boka ni ani honum sei question so beto drink kakra beto popcorn na uti anko yi na se wo kofo obi di wachi a na chese unku akra no wo be fi ono aboka akoba 200 Ghana cedis nti ukobo hum hwuo kofo bi di wachi a se bi atili na mde ni bi tisem ne kwa by time be fi oni aboka 400 na 400 Ghana cedis no nipa ahe nti eno so ka ho na amanfo nkosene no so create minim ni okan eto asumana
Kwesi well ono ne view no but see our man muna was it Lumba and I say you been omokoye show bi aye is it 2000
cover for sure
yes it was 2000 something
I said no 20,000 show me a table say
table 20,000 Lumba was it Lumba
say table
but see I share Lumba
yeah
but I share Lumba
yo nti eno nem fatu ho the bar
yes sir when it comes to you create the need people
nti yeah can say emfa so
there be men cancer me say when you create the
because
need,
now Lumba say me catch say me kwa question na ya ji me
boka be talk about fee ya ji
na me can say Lumba omo sika no ko Lumba
yes enti no eho no omo sika no omo eho no so if
mo pese e question ni so ke pese e question ni
ehin no pese ko hwe no
o say
ehin no pese ko hwe no silver bed
yeah
eho no ya ji 150 but the cinema hall if the people at let's say
also be go bi edwo o pese o ka chem say o de any e man ko ho no se ko bi fufu
your pese ka no sika beso no when the need is there say manfo bebre pese o mo ko hwe sini the carnation echi ho sa no there will be a cinema hall there near or no this is
he's contradicting himself
why am I contradicting myself
but George I can't say you
I said yeah
I said it no colleague on phone got na hey plaza so there was a rate and I me catch George say okay premiere movie we moving picker the price should like okay
yes
what was here
yes
so some more case there are places scattered na se say case yanko kanishi baby rate mbaba down when we have our own cinemas and we can beat down the rate because mimi himself
na
kwesa waje mami can we
beat down the rate
every
class the rates
kwesa waje obi a ote breku su kwanso kwa benya uso on faka no mra kaneshi no mehwe
go on rate ni cheap
no so no
now from kwabenya to connection to transport na betua
wait when the need for cinema people watching cinemas in those days now there are people who will come all the way from Kaneshi to your friends in Ghana films rating higher omo free because some person mo ba ho but ni on kiteska no na nchen na nso no there is a cinema hall
and I say sia no obi a only 150 Ghana no obenya cinema be akoshe the same movie na Socrates premier na
okay to boasi o say nipa na wo ka no say senior system na ye no investors no okobie kakra ketwa ne kra wo ho a obeboka enti o mbie na ni okita sika ketwa no akoho akwakohwe because people will not come
and kwesi assembly say ohia ka ho the economy is part of the problem
council be pacho ensuo we uko moving picker ye ton na bia 20 cedis obi nso ebo obi wo kiosk bi echi
rest and be 50 Ghana
bia and obi anso person no nsuo but obi an person no nsuo a obi a ni wo person no nsuo a
David cancer asema Socrates kan kwesa baje me wo doubt kakra saa sene a wo kasa tete na nkofo behwe sene na omo mboka na nei nkofo behwe sene a investors no ombeboka no ye so mimi so mi so no me o se
there be watch yourself no
me say me bisa say o se investor na okwo obi okwo bie cinema ketwa wo ho no kwane so ba bi no investor no so ko bia obeboka nya sa na opache very good and obeboka good na me so make sure say ye suso no na me ko hese ne wasawaba
I didn't say no ko sawaba ko
me ko sawaba ye base amanfo so ko Alaska ekohwe amanfo so ko dunia nima dunia ekokohwe but even then Oko dunia now kohesenia kwesa bwaje the numbers people it was not filled
okay
this I'm telling you is between 1992 93
yamfa nu sie
92 1990 we were watching cinema at dunia ahonyema
yo me da simple
so if you are telling me that those times are higher man and now higher man to investors boboka I don't see it as at no na afford the tipper trucks and the koheseni it was not true
every blessed day
but no the but mathematics now we
me pamcho yamfa nkoma we senior nkwa ni pamcho bebre me da ma simple for ye dia no be me kon anyum no adom kon so Adam Con. This my people is here. People are funny. You. Okay.
DJ Diomo, yeah, Diomo, Bohomo.
Okay. Me more homo. Oh, come boy. Now, cancer. Me I will be accused. And you mean I am a boy mouse. Ah, me boy mouse and she ways super so yet is a mamma for whom to say, yeah.